Well, hello there. Hello there, everybody. And thanks so much for the sub, Bacon. Hello, YouTube. Hello, all these people claiming first today. Hello, Viking. Nice to see you. Mr. P and Blues. First, second, third. Hello, everybody. We are into digital today. Generally, if I've got the spoons, I do the physical. I don't have the spoons today, but I've got I've got a couple of nice options for you today. So we're going to open it up to some democracy. So we have the option of Keeper, but with a stipulation to make it more thematic. Okay, this is so Keeper is a very cool spirit, but I find them a bit mechanical. But George A, who's played more Keeper games than you've probably had hot dinners, certainly more than you've had hot partners, has got this way of playing. So, and it's basically a bottom track focused way, but you can get to 4 energy first. And you kind of don't draft major powers, and I'm going to make it a rule that I can't draft a major power until I've completely cleared my tracks. Okay, so that's the one option. So that's a George A style Keeper. Sounds like a kind of grill, but I assure you it's not. And the other option is Shadows versus England 6. Okay, so both of the... So I have been playing a bit of Shadows versus England 6, partly... I don't know. It's not a high odds matchup. If the opening few turns don't go very well, probably it's over. So I'm going to let the voting run for 3 minutes, and you can use your piezo's to influence the vote. But it's more about effort than piezo's. So those are our two options for today. So that vote is now live. So the Keeper one, I've not tried it yet. I'd hope to try one before I streamed it. So possibly. That's green, Mr. Progressor. That's some rampant spread of green. Can you show the spirit's picks? Yeah, sure. So, don't know why I'm doing it in this card library. So this is Keeper. Oh God, I know how to use this app. Spent a few minutes in here. So this is Keeper. What I'm proposing is the George A technique. So basically you're getting to 4 energy. You do this generally, this is just the best way to play Keeper, is to get to 4-2. And I think typically it's better to go top track, but what you're doing is you're not allowed to draft majors. This isn't how George does it exactly, but I tried to just simplify it. You're not allowed to draw major to gain major powers, and you have to go empty the bottom track before you can empty the top track. So it's an interesting way to play. Remember, you can do multiple votes if you can be bothered to use your piezos. So that's the one option. So it's like a stip with Keeper that I've not had a chance to practice. Or the other option is Shadows versus England 6, which is a hard matchup with low odds of success. I think on a good day, my win rate is probably in the ballpark of 1 in 6. Though I think it's one of those things where after one game I get a bit more, I kind of understand the matchup a bit better, but then I get more tired. So if I don't get the win in the first 3 or maybe 4, maybe I won't get it. Play the Keepers that way sometimes. Also a good stream. Yeah, I think these are actually two of my better, certainly better ideas for streams. We'll see if I actually can maintain a balance of interesting gameplay and reasonable commentary. We'll see. We will see. And yeah, I mean, also, don't worry, I'll probably do both of these at some point. But I thought I'd start... You know, people love it when the front of a YouTube video is just pointless blather, don't they? They love that. Love to see the people of chat are trolling me by having them tying, in which case I will cast the final vote. Well, yeah, hope you're all doing okay today. I hope so. But Bacon wants Shadows. Interestingly, I did try some Shadows against Prussia, who in theory they should be better against, and I was just sucking. But then I've not really, played many games. Bacon's very worried. Okay, it is a tie. Well, as Bacon has said in chat, We'll go with that. That'll. And I think I'd rather not be terrible at the keeper, so I did want to get an off-stream game or two in on that. Just settling into watch another speedrun. Thank you, Space Hawk. I mean, to be honest, with the shadows, it might be that the first few turns are slightly speedrunning, because if the first few turns don't go that well, it's kind of possibly a wasted effort. So we'll put that in the title, what we're doing. So Shadows has narrowly won. It's a trouble with running polls at the start of the stream. So Shadows versus England 6. And I put my my actual win rate recently is something in the ballpark of 1 in 6. Okay, so that I think is my odds. Play a two-spirit game with both. I don't think I've got the spoons to do two-spirit, even in the app. I'm sorry. Sorry, Mr. P. So, let's get the game going. Now, this is such an unfavourable matchup that I do play on a particular board. Generally, I don't think about the board that I'm on, but in this case, I do. So, Seaboard, you'll start with the Sacred Site here, which is actually pretty good placement, and a presence in here, which actually works pretty well. There are some better starts than others, but with the events in, it's more than just the invader cards at play. The other maps are kind of horrible for Shadows. Actually, I think D is also okay, but A and B, on this map, you start with your Sacred Site in here, which is kind of gross. The only preventable build really is going to be in... maybe these two could be prevented. But yeah, so an A, again, you've got the really deep interior jungle, which is not great for you. Hey there, Americana. If you drink spirits before 10 a.m, you're an alcoholic. If you drink rum before 10 a.m, you're a pirate. Yeah, something like that. So, all right. So we are on C, and that's a deliberate choice, which is unusual for me. We're against England 6. Let's just run through what England 6 do. So if 7 or more buildings are ever in a single land, the invaders win. What that means, this is very easy way to lose against England. The land that has the most buildings in from here on in will be called London, because it's also relevant for the escalation effect on each board with buildings built in the land with most buildings. This escalation in combination with this England 6 ability this can be rough. But let's go from the top. So England's main feature is that invader build actions affect lands without invaders if they're adjacent to at least 2 buildings before the build action. So as Shadows, your innate can move and explore around, and a lot of the time it's completely useless, apart from in the mid-late game for fear at higher tiers, or in very early games, sometimes you do actually have preventable builds. This is like the defining feature of England. Everything else is just more drama. Okay, you've got some extra setup, extra stuff, city in a town, and then you've got an extra build slot. This can make a huge difference if you get unlucky with the ordering of the invader cards. So you're going to have an extra build slot. Oh, you can't see it now. To the left of the ravage slot. So sometimes that you will have a build and a ravage in an empty land. It's gross, but sometimes it's okay. If you have a letter of marque from England, yeah, not all. That's a privateer, not a pirate, though. Slightly different. And then, here's where England goes from being England 5 and 6 is where England this is why people think this is one of the hardest adversaries, if not the hardest. The extra health on buildings is absolutely brutal. And for us, it depends on what mages we get. We might get mages. If we get Dahan mages, so things like paratroopers, Jesus, what's it actually called? Rapid Wings of Freshness, or whatever it's called. That's quite a good one for us. But anyway, the buildings have extra health. Privateers have a different beverage choice. Probably they still like rum. Probably, but I think they've been some more noble kind of drinks like champagne and prosecco. Again, finally, England 6. It actually noticed that there's one less fear card, but the fear pool is now 5. And if you do not earn a fear card then this extra build here, this high immigration build, happens twice. This is brutal. This is why against England you really want to be generating fear. But luckily Shadows is pretty good at generating fear. But it's tricky. All right, so that's England explained. We'll talk about Shadows when we've got a board to look at. Okay, yeah. Champagne sounds more like French privateers. Champagne and Brie. So, open explore wetlands. It's actually a preventable explore here. This is actually a relatively good, one of the better starts. Okay, let's just talk a bit about Shadows. We've got these growth options, which are very, there's not a lot to say about them, really. You've got this energy track that jumps from 0 to 1 to 3. Getting to 3 is essential. Especially against England, you kind of need to go majors fairly early. So, and to fund the majors, you kind of need to be getting here. It's actually a bit finicky in the early game. You need to get, even if you're going with a more minor power heavy strategy, you kind of need this extra energy, otherwise you get in real trouble. Yeah. And you have this innate that gathers a explorer. So remember, England doesn't care if there are invaders in the land. So most of the time, if there aren't many buildings about, this is relevant. It looks like we've got a turn 1 where this is relevant. But I tend to think that with the innate, you're actually looking for this in the mid and late game. You're looking to use this to get the fear from destroying a couple of explorers. This 2 fear is significant. And this top tier of the innate, I don't think I've ever triggered it in my entire life. Okay, let's look at our hand. So we've got these two kind of work in tandem. Favors called Jew gathers up to 4 Dahan and then 3 fear if you outnumber invaders in the land you gather into. So it's huge. And that you can use to gather your 4 Dahan for this in the counter. So Dahan take no damage from ravaging invaders this turn. And you use this in conjunction with the Shadows of the Dahan ability up here. So whenever you use a power, you may pay an energy to target a land with Dahan, regardless of the power's range. This is another point where it can be tricky, because if you get that pip of energy income, then you go, oh damn, I can't target my Concealing Shadows. So that's the key trick. The trouble with this trick is that in solo Spirit, you actually don't have a lot of Blight to play with necessarily. Hey, Skeeve. Driving from Austin to Missouri, 12 hours, so I'll be listening when I can. Hey, that's a long drive. I actually really like driving. I just listen to music, listen to podcasts, and enjoy your drive. Next up to talk about, we've got Crops Wither and Fade, which is actually very powerful. It's a way of downgrading buildings, but note the 2 fear. The other thing to generally bear in mind is you've only got 2 Moon Fire cards, Mantle and Crops. And I think at lower difficulties, you want to be balancing use of these, but I think at higher difficulties, often you actually want to cluster them to get this extra 2 fear if you can. And this will influence where I place my presence as well, because downgrading cities to towns is a pretty big deal. Mantle is actually really good against England, because so it's a target spirit may push and explore in a town from one of their lands. Now, one of their lands is a bit specific. It's basically a land of yours with presence in. So it's slow, which means that if you know where they're going to build, you put presence in, and then you can push the resulting explorer in a town out. And we'll be doing that turn 1. All right, that's enough blather. And probably, so because there's such a low win rate, I'm probably going to go fairly quickly in the early game. I say this. But yeah, this build here is preventable because there's only 1 building adjacent to it. And turn 1, the typical turn 1 is Favors Mantle. I think this actually is a good chance to do that. The other option is to go top track right from the get-go, which is, I think if you don't have a preventable build, I think that might be the right call. But we're going to go with this, which is kind of the standard. So we need the 2 plates for both of those. And we also got to think about where to put this presence. Now, we do have Crops Wither, which is pretty nice. The other thing we don't know yet, of course... Ooh, thanks for the hand flap, Redeem. Flappy. First skeleton. You're not a skeleton, Flappy. Okay. So we've got a presence to place. And we're going to be playing Crops Wither next turn. So I like to put it in here, in this interior land here. Probably will be Favors called Dewing into this land here. This is a big counter. So generally I don't put the presents in here. Though I'm kind of, it's one of those things where I don't know exactly the right way. Hey there, texture. Because I think sometimes you actually want to save the energy, but this is all very specific to this particular matchup. Generally just throwing away presents is not a good idea. Anyway, so I'm wondering if this actually might be a good route. Because it saves you the energy and you could crops, but I like the idea of keeping the interior clean, so I'm going to go with this. The other option, of course, make a sacred site here. And this land here is where we're going to mantle. And if you have any questions about what I'm doing, no matter how basic, feel free to ask them. So what I'm going to be doing is preventing this build, because we only got one adjacent building. And we're going to be mantling these in the slow phase. And we don't know what this explore card is. And this explore card, this is a big important part of RNG here. So this is the only place we can gather this into. And they build the town here. No build here because only one adjacent building. Jungle. Okay, this is an okay outcome, I think. See, I think interesting. So, man, I'm wondering about whether this actually would be better to open with this presence in here. Because, interesting. Yeah, hope you're all having a acceptable Friday. So we're going to be pushing these lot in, and we can actually, this is a case where we can mantle into the land that we're going to do our big concealing shadows in. But you want to do it in the right order so that you get the not insignificant 3 fear. Because if we did it the other way around, we wouldn't get this. And I think at one point I was toying with the idea that you want to not actually deliberately gain the 5 fear, which is an idea I got from that England 6 video on Caelan North's channel with the Danish guy. I can never actually remember what they're called. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we set this up for we actually don't have a Ravage for shadows this turn because we had such a good, yeah, interesting. The opening invader cards make a big difference to the complexion this encounter. So we actually don't have a good concealing shadows this turn, of course, but we definitely want to use it next turn. This is our strongest thing we can do out of the box. Diogenes. Diogenes. I'm Danish too, I believe. Ah, thank you, Spacehawk. Yeah, really great video on Caelan North's channel. If I was a bit more prepared, I would just have a link for you, but I don't. But if you look for Caelan North's YouTube channel, subscribe to it, and watch that video. It's great. Okay. So we're in a situation where we actually we're not concealing this turn, because we actually had like what looks like an ideal first turn, except yeah, this actually looks pretty good. So we are going to be crops withering in here, and we definitely need to get this pip of energy, even though it looks like we don't need to. We often have quite an awkward third turn, but actually, if we are pulling off concealing, so we could look at a major this turn. Because the thing is, there are a few majors that are very good for us. And, damn it, you haven't forgotten about it. I was hoping you'd immediately forget about Diogenes. I'm going to have to... don't even know where he is. Don't even know where he is. I'm going to have to ask the internet for a Diogenes quote. Oh, God. Let's see what the internet's got. So sorry about this. You're not going to be getting some obscure one today. Oh, here's a nice one. In a rich man's house, there is no place to spit but his face. There you go. There's a lovely Diogenes quote. Is that real? Is that a real Diogenes quote? I don't know. It's a shambles, I tell you. No, people haven't redeemed Diogenes for a while. Must be hiding in his barrel. Yeah, almost certainly. That's what he does. Where is Diogenes? When asked how he wished to be buried, he left instructions to be thrown outside the city wall so wild animals could feast on his body. Yeah, that's our Diogenes. So the other thing that's worth thinking about is we don't have... This is not a preventable build here. So I'm wondering whether we actually just maybe look at a major this turn. Even though we can't play it this turn. We might even have a preventable build next turn. If we hang on to Crops, Wither and Fade to play with Concealing Shadows. I mean, typically this turn we would be looking at a minor or a major power anyway. That's why I lived in a barrel. No escaping a face spit in there. Yeah, exactly. You get in that barrel. You got nowhere to hide. And it just, over time just filled up with spit. Which is why I had to just, constantly be getting new barrels. So I'm wondering whether we actually have a very slow turn this turn. Maybe we look at a minor power. Hoping that if we get very lucky, we'll get something useful. Weird. This is a weird start. I think I've had this particular combination yet. Don't use the spit. That was the problem. Yeah. Dodgy's also there were other bodily fluids that Dodgy's used to liberally apply to his environs, shall we say. So we could be having a turn off. I feel like if there was something like a blight removal card, we could pick up something really good. Or we could look at a major, but I'm not sure I want to forget any of these just yet. Yeah, we look at a minor power. We might not play much this turn. We might just play the new minor power. We're definitely going to be playing the energy, though. Okay, what have we got here? Well, these are cards. Drought, actually. It's interesting. So, the way that we think about the way I think about our innate in this particular matchup. I'm not speedrunning, am I? The thing that's brutal with this kind of encounter is the odds of winning are so low. It's a bit painful to really grind it out, but what's pain, eh? Weakness, leaving the body. That's just that's actually a terrible attitude. I'm sure you're all taking everything I say incredibly seriously, but don't take that one seriously. Please. So we didn't get the dream of a Moonfire card. That would have been nice. I think we do want a Crops Wither and Fade here for potentially keeping the inland clear. Even if we don't Crops Wither and Fade... Okay, what's our next Explore card? It's either a mountain or a sand. So there isn't... Okay, there's no mountain or sand with a preventable build, so actually that's not really worth thinking about. We will just Crops Wither somewhere this turn. Drought is... It has a lot of potential against England. This is actually... Entrancing Apparitions is such a strong card against everyone except England. Because you could potentially prevent multiple builds with it. And there's Ants. I love Ants IRL, but this card, it just never really does what you want. So I think this is a Drought pick. Do we even Drought this turn? Do we? Do we do that? I don't think it's quite worth it. So we'd be hanging on to this. We might actually be better off doing something like Ants. Just so that it gets us a little bit of fear. I mean, it is Forget Fodder. Trancing for years of little rain, transmutate, weaving lines. Yeah, Bacon. See, Bacon has a very, very pro-event element approach, which is something it's very low down the list of things. But yeah, you are right. We don't, as this spirit, we don't start with any water elements, and Years of Little Rain is huge for this spirit. What we're talking about, in case you're wondering, is there's an event called Years of Little Rain that needs water. It's a choice event, but if you have water or energy, but probably you need water cards to pay for it, you'll actually get to place an extra presence, which helps you with this awkward gap. Getting to 3 energy is absolutely essential. And Weaving Lies is another event, but that's an air event. So that's an interesting idea. And probably this is Forget Fodder anyway. We've got a weird turn where we're actually going to have a spare play. Drought is not a good thing to just randomly play here, though. Just wondering if there's a way we could gather him with Dahan, but there's not. Do we take the extra fear? But I like this. Maybe we are just playing Crops Wither. I mean, this could be useful. It is a defend card. Defend cards are pretty good. Okay, so we need this energy. And we probably want to think about future Crops Withering. Or future Mantle of Dreads as well. So given we know that it's a sand or a mountain explore next turn, one of these would be a good spot, I think. Because we could maybe use Mantle... Oh, no, not next turn. Not next turn. Let's go with Sacred Site coverage. We know that this wetland is a safe land. So, we'll preserve presence, I think. These aren't great options to Shadows. The Drought's basically a mini major. Yeah, I think Drought is really good. It is good. It's good against England as well. It's just I don't want to. I don't want to play it this turn. I think if I had a spot with a couple of towns in, I probably would play it this turn. So I think this is it. We're just doing a bit of withering. Doesn't look great, does it? But it's because we've had a kind of good start. We can do a damage. It actually does do some use in here, so we'll take out an Explorer. Does feel like a weird turn too. And because these buildings have extra health from England, it does mean... Yeah, actually the apparitions are pretty... They're okay. 2 defend does do something, so we get unlucky. So we actually could wither in here. I actually had not... Oh yeah, we can defend in here with apparitions and we wither in here. Yeah, I hadn't even factored that in. Okay. Get your brain going, peasant. Maybe I have to go make another coffee. Yeah, this defend is actually really good. Okay. If we downgrade this, we've got the potential for preventable build in this wetland in stage 2. So yeah, I think that's the right option. But yeah, the fact that there was this defend there, I knew that. Okay. You need to sort your ideas out, peasant. So this is normally a horrible looking turn, but actually it looks quite nice because we had a horrible turn last turn. The downside of this turn is that we don't have enough fast sphere to prevent the double wetland build. But that's just the way of the world, I'm afraid. Though, given that there aren't that we need the right major, we probably do want to start looking now. We can't win with our starting toolkit with Shadows. So possibly we'll be forgetting crops. So we'll be concealing in here, getting crops in. But it depends what we draw. So I think we look at a major, though we are almost certainly not playing it this turn. The interesting thing is that we do very rapidly get to 3 plays with Shadows. We're going to be spending 2 energy this turn. So we'll have 2 energy left over. We're about to bump up to 3. We've also got another reclaim, another chance to look at a useful major. 5 cards right now. Yeah. Do we just look for more useful minor powers? See, this is a problem kind of land. This is beyond the range of, well, all defend cards apart from Quicken the Earth Struggles. But there are majors that could help with this. And we will have the energy to use this to defend in here next turn. So I think we are looking at a major. Yeah. Okay, what do we got? Okay, these are some cards. Jungle Hungers would mean we hang on to Crops Wither for this possible threshold. This is one of the strongest damage mages against England. My humble opinion. I think this is almost certainly the right pick. It not only has Moon, which we like Moon. Terry's Chocolate Nightmares are not ideal. The Threshold we just never get, and I don't like playing this without Threshold. It's just a bit too expensive. I mean, it's powerful, but getting to 4 plays is not guaranteed. It's actually quite a good board for Jungle Hungers. So they've only got 1 land that's out of range of it. And now I'm wondering, we actually could afford 2 Jungle Hungers this turn instead of Entrancing Apparitions. So we'd be giving up a Blight and we'd lose a Presence, but we would be able to kill a couple of towns and Explorer. Which, unless we got on... Actually, this could be Coastal, could be a Desert Explorer, in which case then our Apparitions won't defend in there. But this is a great card against England, so we take it. And because cities are so awkward to destroy, we care about this threshold. So we hang on to Crops, and probably Mantle goes. So we do have a defend card. Mantle is... I mean, like, this spot would be good for Mantle. We can't Mantle this turn because it's in the discard. We've still got this Wetland, which could be a good Mantle, and this Mountain, which could be a good Mantle as well. But it's weird. Forgetting Concealing Shadows is... I mean, I'm not going to forget it this turn because I need it this turn. But it's like, if you don't have Dahan movement, Concealing Shadows does become horrible. A town will survive here. And the Blight is going to go down. But possibly... Yeah, I think we forget Favors here. The trouble is, once you don't get the massive 3 fear boost, damn it, then Favors does drop off it. I mean, it's still good. And yeah, this is one of the... I don't have I don't have a kind of a general idea for what's a good thing to forget. I mean, Crops is often the thing you forget. We do still need a 3rd plant card to get this threshold, but yeah, I think it is Favors. Because Mantle is guaranteed fear. You'll always get the fear, whereas Favors you won't necessarily get the fear. And we need this energy. And we need to think about where to actually place the presence. So, we could... Defending here, there is going to be a build here. This turn. We'll be reclaiming this turn. Maybe looking for a minor power to support Jungle Hungers. Presence location essential for Hungers. Yeah, it absolutely is. This land's about to ravage though. I mean, if this wasn't about to ravage this turn, no, this is where I'd put it. I think Favors, hopefully we can get more Dahan movement like Rights. Yeah, if we can get something like Paratroopers. That is... Paratroopers, I think, is one of the best mages for Shadow in this particular matchup. And Paratroopers is not what it's actually called. This one here, Rap in Wings of Sunlight. Weirdly, one of my wins, Vengeance of the Dead, was the MVP. I don't think that's ever happened to me before. Because it's 3 fast fear, and this helps you get your innate fear. So, given that we're not going to be able to move Dahan in here for a counterattack, there's no point putting presence in here. You know, do we? No, we're definitely looking at a minor power next turn. Could just go with making us another sacred site in here. Yeah, the island is almost certainly going to blight, so we need to look after our presence as much as possible. We don't have straight defend cards. Almost tempted to really add a load of presence. Oh, here's a thing. We don't have any presence in with Dahan. I'm going to go with that. It helps with events. We'll be a bit sad if we get mountains, but... Okay, so... We also kind of have to hope we don't get a damage boosting event. Okay. What do we get? And it is a double build. But notice no build here, so it's still okay. Alright, so... Maximize fear by killing the city. I don't have straight defend cards, and Trance is rolling its eyes. Well, like 2 is not enough defend to deal with anything beyond the most trivial incursion. Coastal lands, huh? Okay, it's another chance for Entrancing Apparition to show its quality in here. But, we could. Needling. Needling at me. So we've got 5 cards in total. We probably do want 6. We don't really want the island to blight this turn. So we can, if we reclaim, at least we've got the defend 2 in here, which is not guaranteed blight prevention. But this is exactly the kind of turn where you can push ahead on presence placement. It will make a big difference. Except we only have the 1 card to play, so... So we could gain another minor power. We're never going to get this threshold. We could get lucky and draw another defend card. Though, given we don't have an air element in hand, we're unlike with our odds of getting a defend card that will actually work are lower. Unless I actually put the presence in there, I suppose. Because we are... Matter. So we've got a 9 damage Ravage here. There's no Dahan in there, so we're not going to be able to cheese in a Quicken. If we have one. Or we can, most kind of not completely guaranteed, but if we do use apparitions in here, then we've probably still got a healthy island next turn. The other good thing about the reclaim is that we can mantle from here. Actually, that's a good defend. Maybe we're reclaiming to look for a cheap defend, huh? Because then we've got a bit more strength and depth, but because Jungle Hungers would take this down to being a city and a town. Oh no, it will happen after the build. So after Jungle Hungers, there'll be 2 cities in there ready to ravage. And then we're kind of in a bit... yeah, a lot of the defend cards that are on offer will not be enough to deal with that. The other problem is we're not really generating enough fear or damage. But we do have this good spot for a Mantle of Dread, at least. So we could reclaim, defend, mantle, hopefully gain a useful minor power here. Trouble is we have Ravage into Coastal, which is a bit gross. Also, Coastal as first stage 2 card is also a bit gross. It's a lot of pressure, because when we get down to here, they'll have build into Ravage. Almost guaranteed that we'll have that problem. You haven't had a lot of time to build up. Jungle Hungers isn't changing a lot. The trouble is we do need to prune this. But then we're only destroying a couple of towns with no threshold, no possibility of thresholds. I think we have to reclaim. And we need... Okay, we've got a few things we're looking for. We're looking for a third plant card, potentially, or a defend card. Yeah, okay, I think it is. Ooh, oof. Okay, we've been offered two of the best. It's Quicken and Gift of Constancy. Now, so I know that the site of Gift of Constancy is quite a lot. So you know, if you are driving, pull over. Because yeah, just look at it. It's beautiful. Those who aren't that familiar with my jibber jabber, this is just one of my favourite cards. Okay, Quicken is also incredibly good for shadows. Has perfect elements. Not that this matters, but you know, for this second tier. But this Moonfire is good. Gets you the extra fear. So what will Constancy actually do for me is, I guess, the thing to think about. It means I can recycle a card. So in this case, I could Constancy with Apparitions to keep my Apparitions for next turn. It's a bit rubbish. Recycling a 2 defend. But it'll also be giving me a chunk of energy, which means that I can just grab another major soon. And there's Plant on Enticing. Yeah. Yeah, Enticing is a strong card. We actually can use this next turn as a problem solver. So we could use that to entice the town from that coastal mountain. Land 3 for those of you that like numbers. Quicken had Moon Butt, says Buttspot. So, but at least we're being offered 3 good cards, right? Thanks to the well done. So actually, functionally, from the point of view of surviving, I mean, we've still got 3 lands to think about. Quicken's amazing in here, though, because this is going to have a city in 2, and Quicken will allow a counter that clears this, which is a pretty big deal. And it's defending this land that's awkward as hell. And we can afford to use it. It will cost me 2. And this is using the... You need a Sacred Site on the map somewhere to use it, but we can use Shadow of the Dahan. I also love Gift of Constancy. The energy is major funding. I think Quicken is better on Enticing its threshold. Yeah, so we've got the... I mean, we can get this third plant, which is good, but I think not losing is also quite good. And this incoming Coastal Ravage next turn is pretty horrible, but the Cascade is yeah, that's really something to avoid, and it would be a really good counter. And possibly we'd get some fear from the second stage of the innate. Yeah, and we've got, I mean, there's quite high odds that the jungle's going to come up again anyway, so even if these Dahans stay where they are, could be good. Defend 10 at 1 range is worth 2. It's a major power effect. Yeah, it's just, it's good stuff. We've also got this other Sacred Site in this crucial land that already has Blight, so I think it is Quicken. It is Quicken, and Jungle Hungers, well... So we might want to try and get our... Not this turn. This turn we've got a defend to do in here. This we're letting go. So we probably want to think about staggering our Moonfire cards for next turn to maximize this... Well, to get this extra couple of fear. Because we're definitely going to Quicken in here next turn. We're probably going to gain another major. No. I actually need a quick bio break. I'm too excited. I'm going to run a raffle while I go. Sorry about that. I will be right back. A raffle, you say? Yes, a raffle. What's the occasion? The occasion is bio break. I try not to have them. Have not been having that many raffles lately. Okay, so our plan next turn is to quicken in here. So we like the idea of keeping Moonfire cards for that occasion. So the other thing to think about is staggering our fear gain as well. We do definitely want to gain 4 fear this turn if we can. Oh. But we've already got a card, so we actually don't want to gain all 4 fear this turn. But we probably do want to gain some. It's actually probably a better turn for some jungle hungering. We don't really want to eat these Dahan. But this here is a good man. Actually, this is a good mantle. So we go up to 3 plays next turn. We can push this Explorer Town from here. Then we can defend in here. We let this go, probably. We might look at another major next turn. Because Concealing Shadows kind of... In a world where we have Quicken, Concealing Shadows is... We don't really want to be playing Concealing Shadows anymore. Especially when we're down to 1 Blight. Yeah, I think that's that. And this is going to get us 2 fear, which is kind of a good amount of fear. Especially if we do go Quicken Crops Jungle Hungers next turn. And that will get us the 3 Moon, 2 Fire for another 2 fast fear. Well done, Flat Eyes. You've won a raffle. No doubt, I'm sure you'll be a good Flat Eyes and claim a prize. So yeah, it doesn't look very impressive, does it? But yeah, actually, this turn, next turn it's okay. We should be able to afford it as well. Just. Victory, delighted. It's a tough one fight. So we have some pointless... I guess we could, if we bring this Explorer somewhere, we're less likely to get saddened by the event. And you may as well just drag it to the coast. Yeah, let's drag it to the coast. Well done, Flat Eyes. Congratulations coming in from Blues. Tough person to beat in a raffle. Okay, no explore into lands at least 2 Dahan. How wonderfully irrelevant. Actually, not completely irrelevant. Just somewhat. Wait, what the hell? Am I not playing with events? Peasant, are you high? Why have you not got... What? What? I've realised I'm not playing with events. Well, I'll change that for the next one. That's just an oversight. Why is that the case? They call me Captain Competence. I think events probably, on balance, help me. But when you're playing as if you've got them, and then... Oh, I think we've just lost this anyway, honestly. This is looking horrible. I hadn't even noticed we've... Yeah, we can't push into here. Void game! Yeah, just a warm-up. I guess it's a bit quicker without events. My years of little raindrops is out the window. I think I know why. I tried to do an Ocean difficulty 17 match recently. And I think for that you need to not have Branch and Claw. Otherwise the thematic board doesn't grant you extra difficulty. It didn't go that well. Okay, so we do have a plan for this turn, which is Quicken, which is these 3 basically. And we can just about afford it. Yeah, this is actually a terrible... This run's going terribly. So we probably do need to look at a major. We could get one of the big defend kind of majors. And if it's a 4 cost, we could actually put a presence in here to not have to pay the extra on that. And that would be a worthwhile spend. So I think it is this. Vitality does fit the bill. It's a shame to not be able to pick up land thrashers, but it's not actually that great for us, in my experience. Do we have much mountain going on? This is a very cool card if you can get the threshold, but it's impossible for shadows. Did the 17 thing with Thunderspeaker cheesed it completely? Yeah, there's quite high variance. Is it? There is a certain step that you kind of, if you roll the dice enough times, then you'll come up smelling of roses. Yeah, this is. I think this actually is. We're not gonna win. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. Well, not with that defeatist attitude. Well, no. Not with that defeatist attitude at all. Interestingly, this is actually... We're not sacrificing presence here, are we? Because we'll be defending there. So we will economize. But yeah, we're looking down the barrel of loss in here. Do we just allow this cascade, actually? I think this is still the right pick. Because at least if we allow the cascade from here to here, well, at least we get to clear out 3 towns. And oh no, we're just going to lose in the escalate. This is a guaranteed escalate because this is coastal lands. Yeah, I think this is it's a bust. But I mean, this is a rough matchup. But more use of the hungers you'll never play. Yeah. Damn it, Gem. Yeah, we lose here because we didn't do enough damage in here. It's interesting because I've not had this start, the preventable wetland build, right at the start of the match. It was kind of interesting because it left me a weird turn. So yeah, we're going to lose here from build and then the threshold on here. I mean, the invader cards really matter for these kind of... Well, for me doing this matchup. I'm sure there's someone on the second wave Discord that just beats this matchup every single time, but that's not me. So yeah, let's just play it for the sake of it. But we lose to this build. I don't think there's anything we can do about it, especially in a world without events. But we can at least do that. What? Oh, we still need to pay because it needs a sacred site. Okay, peasant. Once more proving what a fake Spirit Island fan you are. Oh yeah, the fact that this gather is non-optional is also pretty brutal. But there's the fear to prevent the double build here, but it's not going to be enough. I suppose the fear card could have pushed a town out or something. But yeah, we lose now. On this escalate. Or here. I wonder whether Jungle Hungers just isn't good for this match. I mean, I don't think we had any better options, honestly. Okay, we could have got the Blighted Island card that destroys a town, but we didn't get it. So, Cascades are here. But yeah, we lose now. Well, let's enable those events. What can I learn from this? Don't attempt low odds matchups. Okay. Oh, it's not going to let me undo here. God damn it, game. So, yeah. Possibly Jungle Hungers just isn't that good for this match, and it shouldn't even be considered because it's a bit too slow. Ignominious defeat. I'm not actually sure what that word means. I hope it means what I think it means. But, you know, law of averages, right? If I give myself a 1 in 6 odds of winning, just play 6 times and the win's guaranteed. Oh, peasant, you fool. Damn it, you fool. You need to actually enable the You actually need to enable events. I think that they are going to help. Well, yeah, because there are events that will help us. Okay, so we are. That was first was just a warm up, without the complications of events. Okay, so we don't start with a preventable build, which makes me think top track is the way to go. I'm trying to think. I wish I'd actually made some records because I've been trying to do this with top track start. So yeah, we can't prevent any of these builds, and this is going to be a city build. Also, we can't favors called due for all our fear in this land, which is kind of brutal. So probably will be favors called dewing into one of these lands. We're not starting, none of our starting presence is going to be in with a building, so we don't have a good crops wither unless we put a presence somewhere. So I think this might be... Actually, yeah, this is not a good turn one favors. I guess we could turn one favors to just bring Dahan into here and get that 3 fear. Leaving, kind of preserve, but this actually isn't a bad concealing shadows in here. So maybe we could bring in 4 Dahan into here. Because that's also preventing us having lone Dahan, which could get yoinked into towns by the events that are now enabled. And it also sets up for a good counter. But this is the preferable place for an early counter. Yeah, we don't have a good turn 1 crops with... Oh, this is actually quite a good mantle, though. This is actually a very good mantle. In fact... I think this is a good mantle. I think we're going to go for... I think we're going to go top track on this one. Because we don't have a preventable build. But I think you still go turn 1 minor power. Because all of our cards are quite good. And of course, when we take this, we are not committing to either track. Because that's... So Drought offered to us again. I feel like Drought is a card I should be taking. But what about Blight Removal, I hear you say? I'm pretty sure Blight Removal did play a role in one of my recent wins. Letting Mountain go. Yeah, I think I have to. They're going to build a city there. There's not a lot I can do about that. I'm actually thinking melting. Gets a bit of breathing room. Of course, we do have at least one guaranteed blight here. This may well just be forget fodder. Hey, Tats, nice to see you. Everybody. Oh, why is my bot not shouting out Tats? Because I haven't turned them on. My poor bot. It needs so much attention. Let's see if it's working now. It's not working. It's not woken up yet. Oh well. It's a shambles, I tell you. So I actually quite like blight removal here. Why is there some time? And it could just be, I mean, what the other thing's doing for me? Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Ah, there it is. There it is. The bot's awake. Oh god, now my bot's going to spam everyone. But it's been very useful as an aid from lessers. Yeah, it's a nice... I mean, I think we've already got this starting blight here. I think this is actually the best of these. Especially as like our one trick involves adding blight, so... And this sand here does mean that possibly a favours in here next turn could be good, knowing that we can make this a place where we're continually concealing and melting. So the trouble is we actually can't go bottom track here. We just can't, because we don't have the energy to do so. And we do want a sacred site here for potential melting business. We don't want to risk our presence in here unnecessarily, but we are mantling. Okay, yeah, we mantle. We mantle gem. Melting plus years of little rain for bacon. Years of little rain for everybody. Looks like you dropped this. Here you go. Oh, thanks for the bit, Tets. I appreciate the bits. Have you seen any games in the demo fest? You, Tets, or anyone? I mean, I value Tets' opinion more, honestly. But any hot new games in the demo fest? There was one that I saw that Tets had wishlisted that looked really good. What the hell was it called? What the hell was it called? Because I'd missed it in my research. It's the Iron Oath, turn-based tactical RPG. It looks really nice. Okay, what did we get? Wetland. Ha, that's annoying. Because this is... actually, no, this is okay. No, it's annoying. It also handles missionaries. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's got the elements you like for missionaries. So, I think we push in with the beast. We definitely push the explorer in with the beast. I think we do... Am I committing to using favors next turn? This is actually kind of awkward. We could uncanny melting next turn. Sacrifice this presence. Oh, that's gross. That's truly gross. Melting has but and sun. I kind of like the idea of the favors into here to get the 4 fear. Sorry, 3 fear. This isn't a preventable build as well. So while this mountain start is really brutal, I think this is one of the weaker starts. I think your ideals turn 1 explore is sand or jungle. So if I'm not going to be able to favors here next turn, if I'm still going to be going top track, I mean, I don't have to go top track. What am I doing about this land? I suppose if we draw a defensive major. Yeah, I think we push this into here. A beast is not going to do much against an England boosted town. It just ain't. Okay, so we're letting this land go. But if we do look at a major this turn, we might actually be able to defend this land. That's actually a possibility. And if that major is paratroopers or wings of radishes or whatever it's called, we would actually get a counter. No top track stip for this fellow. No, I am nowhere. I can't stip on this one. This isn't Fangs. This is not a... I don't think I've played... I just haven't played Shadows as much as Fangs. But also, this is a rough match. In my experience, anyway. So, I think we do look for the major this turn. Though we've got good things to do. I mean, favors would be good. Melting would be good. Yeah, this is a bit grim. Yeah, no steps for this one. See, we could melting this, but that feels like a very slow turn too. We need to be busting out the majors. I guess, yeah. I think we have to look at a major. I think once we've committed to this first. See. Yeah, this, especially with this being not preventable. Okay, what do we get? Well, okay then. So instruments is wonderful. Everyone loves instruments. Musicians love instruments. Spirits love instruments. However, against the boosted health of the English, it's a bit grim. Against the Swedes, you love instruments even more. But okay, this is a somewhat rancid collection. We have basically drawn forget fodder. Let's just look at this card for a moment. I mean, it's an interesting card. It's one that I don't think I've ever really used. I think I've used it once or something. I mean, in theory, it's helping us with our accumulated England, right? I can see how in theory it's okay. What's it take to thresh the top left one? It's an awkward one. Fire, water, and 3 beast. 2 fire, 2 water, and 3 beast. 3 animal. I mean, that's not... It's one of those thresholds that I don't think... Have I ever done this threshold? The combination of it being a bit of a random card and hard to threshold means that I think you're only going to threshold it with Memory or Snake or someone, and probably Memory and Snake get to see so many cards that they would never pick this one. But yeah, so the threshold here is 2 fire, 2 water, 3 animal. I mean, Floods is good, even if we just use it to destroy a city and remove a blight, but it's expensive. The only one we could play this turn is Smothering Infestation, which actually, what are we doing? Disease, couple of fear, we can kill a town. In a land we're in. I mean, we'd actually have a good use for it here. Actually, you know what? That's actually... I think that's my best option. 3 damage destroys the town in here. I mean, the disease, but we'll hopefully move the Dahan out before they get hurt. And it's some fear. Actually, yeah, that's the call. So, I think... Crops Wither we could keep for this threshold. I think we are forgetting Mantle of Dread here, though. For the sake of keeping our hand big. Possibly we'll be trying to draft another major next turn. Yeah, we go Infestation. So... what else are we thinking about here? So this turn, if we infest in here, then we don't have to... We've dealt with the problem of the Cascading Blight. Which is a problem. You don't want that. You don't want those blights cascading everywhere, do you? And we'll be leaking another blight over here. It's kind of okay. We've already got presence in with Dahan. We could just make a sacred site here. There is a chance that we'll get unlucky. No, there's not. We just have to accept that. It's just part of the tension of playing with events. So we've only got the one play. Playing with kind of one play is definitely not my natural way of playing this game. Okay. Okay. We've got new species spread. So almost always I want to do this. Transmute the worst of the species will give us a fear and a beast in a land with buildings. The alternative is adding a blight and this comes back. New diseases is going to do damage to none of our Dahan. No Dahan are going to take damage from the diseases. But we are about to place the disease. I almost always want to transmute here. And we should get some energy as well. We can transmute by forgetting a card or just by discarding a couple of cards. The nice thing about having only had one play is that we have got a handful of cards. And given that we probably want to draft another major next turn, rather than reclaiming. Most actions we'll have next turn are 2. This will blight. Just wondering what I'm trying to work out is whether to forget a card or to discard 2 cards. Hey there, Linduxt. I have to see this. We've already lost one. Well, I've already lost one. I even forgot to enable events, which is impressive. Shadows versus England 6. Yeah, I'd say my odds are 1 in 6. Approximately. But the trouble is, there's like a sweet spot. So I think maybe my second or third game is the most likely to win. And then as I get more and more tired. So yeah, there's no guarantees. And it is a rough matchup, and you can just get in trouble. So what's my ideal next turn? I think my ideal next turn probably. So sand and mountain. No, so sand and jungle are our next candidates. If we get sand, this uncanny melting would be nice to yoink the blight. I mean, we've still got the nice setup for favors and shadows. Oh yeah, I want to set up these favors next turn. So what's my ideal hand next turn? Favors, and we don't care about our innate because it won't do anything. There's nowhere where an explorer on its own can be yoinked to prevent a build. So if we're having this, it's because we want melting and we want concealing shadows. So maybe I'm forgetting Crops Wither and Fade. Or discarding these 2. Oh no, discarding Concealing Shadows. There's not going to be a Ravage in here for ages. So I think we discard Shadows and one of these 2. Shadows and Crops, I think we discard. Because, yeah. Shadows and Crops. So we've got ourselves an extra fear and we get to add a beast somewhere. So if we do get... Yeah, I'm probably just going to have to place my beast on instinct. Ooh, what's this? Shadow started off for me as a spirit I really was interested in. However, now that I've gotten to the point where I'm winning every other game, when they quick play difficulty 4 or 5 games, I found that Shadows are just not fun. It's too damn restrictive and hard to make work. Seems to be so many restrictions put on the spirit. It's a hard spirit. It's not it's rough. It's not, I mean, it does have its strengths. There are some opponents, I think against, in theory at least, Prussia should be a good opponent for Shadows, as should Russia, as should France. But I mean, yeah, it's not an easy, it's definitely, I think of it as a challenge spirit. Definitely one of the hardest ones to make work. But people do play this spirit and get, impressive looking wins. Where the hell am I putting this beast? So my plan is to try and have this be some kind of horrible place with continually cleaning up and having Concealing Shadows business in. There's already a beast here. Coastal beasts could be good if we get sea monsters. And this is adjacent to a jungle, but this land's going to be blighted half the time. We definitely want to put the beast in somewhere. This has an explorer. Let's add it in with the explorer. Because it might just kill the explorer. But adding disease as well. Interesting. So I'm going to be yoinking this Oh, damn it. We're losing a Dahan. So we'll lose a lone Dahan over creating a new lone Dahan. Yeah, it's funny with the quick play feature. I haven't used it that much. It's a nice feature. Okay, so that we let that one go. And what do we get? Get the jungle. Damn it. Damn it, Janet. Okay, so we smothering. We infest in here. And that's good. We've got that Fear card, so no double mountain build. This is looking horrible. So yeah, we didn't get the sand. The interesting thing is that I feel like it's a theory thing for this matchup. You want to get you're probably going to want favors onto the coast because that is guaranteed. Those lands are definitely going to come up in stage 2. So we should be able to favors into here and then do a bit of tidying up in here with uncanny melting. That is a turn. Quick play is great. Gives you some thematic and gets you playing scenarios you don't usually play. Yeah. Yeah, I should. It's definitely one of my least used features. I think when I've tried it, I put it on too high difficulty for me to feel good. Okay, so all being well, this is kind of okay. I quite like going with this turn, so we are revealing. We are going to be placing a presence from plays. Do we? We actually want all of our cards, so I think we're looking at a minor power this turn. Maybe we look at a major on the reclaim. Because although this uncanny melting is kind of good, it's also... Yeah, we could do with just a defend card, right? Wish quick play was a little more configurable. Yeah, it's been a while since I've looked at it. Yeah, a minor power is the way. Or is it? Because we're going to be sitting on 4 energy. Even if we do play favors, we could be playing a significant major. This threshold here I don't think is worth really trying hard to get. Even though it does mean a city gets destroyed. And all explorers. Okay, maybe I do want to hang on to crops. Yeah, we are looking at a minor power. Possibly not being bold enough here. Well, these are some defend cards. Guardian Serpents is lovely, but it's not great for us. Making Sacred Sites is not super easy. This is also a straight-up fear card against England. Is very, very nice. And it's Moon. And I'm wondering if this is better to get the 3 slow fear than to actually clean up this blight. I think it might be. Last time I played with Shadows, I got so annoyed by the fact that the first level of the innate actually does not say May. I was playing against France, would have cleared up a land at the second level of the innate, but in the end a build happened because I had to pull an explorer. Yeah, yeah. Okay. It's a bit grim. It really is. Okay, so we can't... Ambushes in there. There is a requirement for Dahan to be in there. So we can't keep that blight from going down. And there's no Dahan in these lands, but if we do favours this turn, we could elusive ambushes in there next turn and potentially delay the reclaim, which might be a chance to look at another major. But we would still be letting one of these go. A non-straightforward choice. But yeah, the fact that it feels like I think there are a couple of spirits that could like when the second edition comes in a decade's time. I think shadows could do with just a little nudge. I mean, little nudges have been suggested. I think one of them was that this energy track starts with one rather than 0 for a slightly more flexible opening. Maybe that you don't have to pay energy for this. That's actually a aspect, isn't it? I can't be unbiased about here. There'd be monsters. Yeah, it's a corker of a card. I like the fact I've got a good counter here. I guess the thing is I do have concealing shadows, so I don't need to be defending. This is such a nice thing to tack on. The trouble is, I suppose we can be keeping the island healthy. Oh no, we're not keeping the island healthy unless we uncanny melting and do this next turn. Rough choice. You like Guardians for the stonks? Yeah, the trouble is our important defends are not stonkable. See, I like that we can get this coastal counterattack with elusive ambushes if we use Favors Called Due this turn and bring these 3 in, unless we get unlucky and the disease doesn't prevent builds this turn. But we do already have a plan for that land. We can use Concealing Shadows in there. Whereas this is just getting the fear going, which is important against England. Bear in mind, we've not really opened up our plays yet. We don't have attacking plays. Yeah, exactly. We don't have the spares to just be shivering here there'd be monsters on. Not yet, anyway. And we don't have anything that's super forgettable either. Just yet. Though, if we lose too many more to harm, then Favors Called Due would be horrible. Someday we may have 4th place. That's unlikely. Unless you get Indomitable Claim kind of nonsense going on, or how's that other one? Big Boon. I like big boons and I kind of like this one here. Unrelenting Growth. It doesn't say boon on it at all. I think having a defend card, yeah, I think we take the defend. Because this is basically going to be 2 fear rather than 3, but it will keep the island a little bit healthier. Okay, Uncanny Melting is going to want a target in here. So probably we want to start building a sacred site over here. Do we want it in here or here? I guess we still have Crops Fade, but we have no chance of actually defending this, so I'm going to put it in here. Our chances of having a healthy island are low, so in that case we want to preserve our presence as much as possible. I think this is the turn. Okay, nothing fast. Fast schmast. Add Explorer to a land without invaders or Dahan. Beasts are destroying some explorers, and we might get to use a slow power now. Okay, the crucial thing is we didn't get any extra damage. So, Beasts are destroying explorers. Oh, there's no okay, no lands with that. So we get to destroy a couple of explorers. And we can use one of these fast. Does it actually matter? Actually, we don't want to use this here fast because we're going to clear this explorer. We could just do this. I don't think it matters. But actually, we don't want to do either of these fast. We want to know what this information is. Oh, we've only got 1 target for this. Let's just do it. Oh, actually, this is better. This gets us an extra fear because you need invaders for the extra fear. The extra fear could make all the difference. A lot of my wins of this are super tight, as in winning by 1 fear in the fast, you know, no margins. So so we'll see. Okay, so we do get that. Disease goes away here. What's our explore? Damn it! It's unfortunate we're not going to get our bonus fear from favors, so we might want to move our Dahan somewhere where we will get that 3 fear. Yeah, that's brutal. Okay, so that I think was a misplay. I know I got punished for it, but I think in that case, I hadn't actually thought of this at the time, but it would have been better to do this fast instead of this, guaranteeing the 3 rather than 1. Rather than, yeah, so that makes this Ravage kind of horrible. But we could go in here for the 3 fear, and the crucial thing is that prevents this double wetland build. The thing is, we do have Ravage into Ravage here, so it's kind of important that we defend in these lands, especially as we've got no blight removal there. So I think we might even have to do this anyway. But if we go into here, we get bigger counter, because we'll have four Dahan instead of 3. But by bringing in here, the other nice thing about that is we don't have any lone Dahan anymore. But bear in mind, we've got a London here that's looking pretty tasty. So we could get 3 fear here, or we could set up for a good counter here. Bearing in mind our elusive ambushes will do nothing if we don't have Dahan in there. So if we wanted to keep the island healthy next turn in this jungle Ravage, we need to bring these in here. But the trouble is we're short on the fear we thought we'd have. We don't have fast fear options in hand. The double wetland build, is that an absolute disaster? It's not ideal. I think keeping the island healthy for another turn is worth pursuing. Especially as we've got jungle into jungle. Oh, that's unfortunate, isn't it? We're going to have... Yeah, I think having the Dahan in this land is worth... Because there's going to be a lot of fighting in here. But we are going to have double wetland builds. So we're currently sat at 2 plays. If we reclaim this turn, we're still going to be at 2 plays. But we do at least have these ambushes here. This one we'll lose a presence in here. We can push to 3 plays. I think we have to, even though we only have 1 card. But we could look at another major here. We've currently got 6 cards in total, so that's a good number to have when you've got 3 plays. And we're also going to have a good amount of energy. We're going to have 4 spare energy. And if you get something like Paralyzing Fright or something like that, then that'll be big. We've already lost... Okay, we've thinned out some stuff that's not great for us at all. I think we look at a major. Because we could get one of those nice big defend majors. Yeah, I think we are in a lot of trouble in this mountain as well. So, let's see. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Indo-Claimo's a card. And we can afford it. It's a very good card, Jim. We're still going to have this risky defend on the coast. But I think that's better to do the risky defend than to use the safe defend and lose this have the blight come down here. Because we've got the old... Yeah, we'd rather have a... Yeah, we'll gamble to keep the island much healthier. Yeah, we can afford claims, so we're doing it. So we like this threshold ability, especially against England. but we don't have any relevant cards. The Earth element is more important, especially if we've got a couple of different Sun cards. With Indo Claymore in the game, Concealing Shadows is almost completely irrelevant, so I think we get rid of Concealing Shadows. Yeah. And okay, also with Indo Claymore, we can get to 3 plays by placing this presence, and we don't have a third card, so if we take from energy this turn, then that's actually really nice as well. So we're going to elusive ambushes in here. If we get lucky, they will counterattack and clear this land. But remember, they are England, so they will still build in there. But then we're reclaiming, and hopefully we can repeat these plays next turn with another card tacked on top. So I think finishing this sacred site is the thing to do. So now we can do some cleanup in here with our third action next turn, possibly. But yeah, defend. We're going to have a super sacred in here. So defend 4, and then defend 20. We'll get that third play now for the reclaim. Okay, that's not bad. Add a beast to a land without blight that has towns and canny defense. Okay, this is fine. We didn't get hurt by extra damage in the Ravage, so that's pretty good. Beast to a land without blight that has towns. When you have the energy next turn, I'll have 4 energy income next turn, and I've got 1 in my purse, so we should be good. But I actually hadn't checked that. Yeah. So where do we want our beast? I probably would put it in London here. We've got to watch out. This actually is a really good pick for us, but we need to be careful not to lose it here. So I'm actually going to put a beast here adjacent to here in case it can do something relevant in here. I think we're probably looking at a major power next turn to try and do something about these mountains here. Yeah, let's go with a couple of beasts in here. That also means that if we get beast attack, then we can actually kill a city. Okay, we do get double wetland build. Oh, it's such a brutal encounter. But this is nice. So and explore. Yikes. Okay, so it's offering me the choice of explorers because of the event. So we'll put the town explorer in here rather than here. And this is too high. This is really bad. Might just be doomed because of this. Okay. We have no in-hand solutions. There's build and then there will be escalation. This could be coastal lands, but it might well not be. So we actually need some kind of YOLO solution for this. Unfortunately, it has a blight in, so beast-based solutions are probably not. Oh, well, so mini fangs will not work in there. We also do not have any earth cards, so we can't use action skips. So in terms of fast cards that could help us in there, I don't think there are any/many minor powers that will help us. Oh, actually, Pristine Wilderness might work. And that was from the last game, so we do still have that available, but it's not called Pristine Wilderness. I do apologise. What the hell's it called? Enticing Splendor would help, but not a lot else would. There's no Dahan in there, so we can't prevent with rights. So yeah, this is a big problem with no in-hand solution. Talons, yeah, Talons would help. Can't afford it though. Talons cost 6. So I think... I mean, we could get lucky. Bear in mind that coastal lands... We've got a 1 in 3 chance this card is coastal lands, which doesn't have an escalation marker on it. And we could also get help by the event. So it's still, you know, it's not completely dead, but it could be. We'd still need to find a solution. Fast cards that could help us in there are things like Paralyzing Fright, of course. Pen-Up Calamity could clear a town, and it's a good card for Fangs in general. Insatiable Hunger of the Swarm is... I love this card, but it's not often practical. Talons is too expensive. We're only going to have 5 energy next turn. Terrifying Nightmares, but I think we've already discarded that. Winds of Rust and Atrophy also could help. And the nice thing is we will have our full hand of cards, but we're only going to have 3 plays, so... Oh, wait. I guess the other option is to go full YOLO. That's actually Reclaim isn't the only option to do this. Why would you do that? Because then you could get to 6 energy for Talons. But then you just lose. You just lose everything. The island suddenly becomes blighted. So I think we have to reclaim. Let's just quickly see what we don't have available already. Yeah, none of these cards are ones that we want right now. So yeah, we're looking for something good. There's Talons. Sigh. Do we have airfire cards to get this threshold effect? No. So now we're relying on the Invader deck being our friend. Be my friend, Invader deck. Do we have... Okay, we also want a fire god. We also need a fast fear. Where are we with our... And if you are not super familiar with this matchup, it is a brutal one. It's hard to judge who's watching and why. God, for 20, damn work. I know, right? Damn nerve. Talent is fast fear, but I can't afford it. That's the trouble with Talons. Because I'm only going to have 5 energy this turn. So the YOLO option was to just place a presence and look at a card. To do this instead of reclaiming. I'd still think I made the right choice. But then maybe not. Because this is like a... You know, this is a guaranteed loss. Apart from 1 in 3 chance this card doesn't hurt. Or the event could help. Trees and Stones is actually a fast fear. Because if we use it in this jungle, we kill the town. Before the fear card bit, so that would prevent. And I mean, a Terror level 1 fear card's unlikely to impact on this, but who knows? Might do. Or do we just completely gamble on help from the event and just try and grab something like Tsunami or Cast Down? The trouble is we don't have a coastal London. Cast Down, sacrifice win is unlikely. Just getting to 4 plays is awkward. I mean, we've got... So I think we go for Trees and Stones for that fast fear. But then we're not indomitabling. We've got 3 plays. But we're not going to get any... We don't have the right elements to get fast fear of our own name. So I think... Yuck. Yuck. So you are going to let a blight go here. The reason we're not just waiting till the Ravage is to prevent the double build in the jungle. So So we're doing that in there. We do actually have 3 other plays. This is a pain. We don't even have any adjacent Dahan to here. So I guess we just have to do business as usual stuff to try and just, if there is a game to stay in, to try and stay in there. So probably Favors Called Due for the fear and Uncanny Melting for the light, but we might not last. Trees and Stones helps Threshold Indomitable. It does, doesn't it? We don't have any other Earth cards just yet. Yeah, we're looking for help from the events / fear deck. That's our only hope. Weaving Lies, huh? Okay, now we're looking for help from the fear deck. Do we even have any air cards? Does that boost the level of our fear card? It doesn't. So I think... So basically, because a fear card costs 5 to gain, I think we definitely Weave Lies, but we'll be at the cost of losing Favors Called Due. But I think that's worth it. This is a bit desperate. Okay, the event would have given us the fear. Thanks, event. So yeah, always put in with invaders with your stogs. And let's have a wilds in this land because it's. So, you know, we'll have it in here. It might be relevant for something. Add a strife to the land with a adjacent species. Okay, that's not the help we needed. So now it's all about the. Do we get coastal lands? So given that the only way we survive is by coastal lands showing up, then I'm going to play the strife in here because that's the only way we live. We don't live in any other scenario. So that's a blight. Iron's still healthy, but... So if this is coast, we live. We don't live. Damn it. Damn it, Janet. Indo wasn't enough. Brutal. Feels like if one of your... Like, on this map board, mountain is horrible. Getting this... Okay, fine. Apart from that, this, because we don't have a preventable build, right? That's part of why Mountain Explore is horrible. Indo is great, but it leads to a passive stance. Well, if you've got Dahan movement, then it can become a pretty big deal, especially against England, where damage is... A lot of your damage cards just don't really do as much as you'd want. But yeah, this is a good mantle, I'd say. And I think maybe it's a good idea to just set up for this Coastal Sands to be Dahan Central. I don't like bringing them in there with the Blight, though. But I think my most successful runs have been where I've done that. And I know it's hard to believe. I have beaten England 6-3 times with Shadows. Hard to believe. And I'm not convinced about going top track. Because if you don't get the right major power, i.e. paratroopers, you're just doomed. So this... But jury's still out. This turn 1 favours Mantle. So we're going to go with a standard here. So we go for the energy, we go plays. we think about our future crops wither. I wonder about this being a spot for crops wither. I like here for crops wither, but here we're guaranteed to lose this presence unless we draw a defend card. Defend card without corresponding Dahan counterattack is horrible, so I think this is better. If we plan to bring our lads in here. So yeah, Darkness Swallows is kind of irrelevant because we're going to oh no, peasant idiot. You're mantling. You need to actually have presence in there. Sorry about this. So I need that presence in there. Well done, peasant. So we're pushing from here into here, but we'll favors called in here first. Actually, you know what? Bringing this explorer from here in with the beast could be good. The beast might just kill it for us. So yeah, I feel like Mountain might be the worst possible opening explore. Well, and also not ideal, but you do get this preventable build here. Okay, so we'll favors called due in here. Now, as we're emptying this land, and we're still going to be left with Lone Dahan, I'm going to take them down here. Though actually, because there's business going on in here, I'm going to take one from here. Because if we do get Years of Little Rain, we will at least have a Dahan in with our presence. Then we Mantle of Dread. And the nice thing about this is that we are stacking... is that we are choosing where London is, right? And we're putting London where we want it to be. That's the nice thing about this kind of start, even though it's happened with the worst. I think we're better. This works better when we've got jungle or sand as one of these. So with this, there's not a lot we can do about this. So now traditionally we'd be looking at a minor power. We don't have a Concealing Shadows this turn, so it's a Crops turn. Yep, so we'll be taking this energy and we'll be hopefully finding something. Okay. Okay, Visions of Fiery Doom actually is really nice for Shadows. We're better, this is actually better next turn. This build, unfortunately, is not preventable because there's 2 buildings in here. Transient Apparitions actually wasn't too bad earlier today, but didn't feel like enough. This also has the elements we like and actually does quite a lot. But I think I prefer Visions of Fiery Doom. Because the threshold is relatively easy to get this bonus sphere, and this town push is good. It's good, but we don't have a particular use for it this turn. But we might just play it anyway for the fear. We really want to get to 3 energy before we reclaim. So we could Visions of Fiery Doom next turn to push this town out of this land with the blight. Hey, Brain. Hello there. Nice to see you. So I don't want to play this turn, and this fear threshold here is worth pursuing. So Concealing Shadow, I'll probably just play this turn for 1 fear. Also probably want to think about where we're going to Crops Wither and Fade. We don't want to play a presence in here to die in the Ravage. And this is our Concealing Shadows town, maybe. So I think we place it in here to downgrade this city. So, given that we don't have... the trouble is this is slow fear. We might just have to play this anyway. I think we have to play this anyway. The trouble is we're then in a bit of a weird YOLO-y situation next turn. But this still actually does the job. The most important part of the job is this town push. The fear is nice, but we should gain... 3 fear from here. We'll probably be looking at major next turn. Okay, so we're concealing shadows. Just for the fear. And we do have this gather. So, actually, we do have a use for it because we can make this into a 0 risk ravage next turn. So I think we'll yoink this explorer from there. So then visions can push the town. Do I want to push it into here? Probably not really. Rising interest in the island, you say? This is a big deal because a fear card is a lot of work against England 6. And we don't want to be adding towns. Do we have an air card to forget in the discard? Given that Concealing Shadows is so much damage, I don't want to forget this in this. We've got this set up. This is going to come up at some point, and it's our London. I mean, it could come up as this card here. This is Sands or Jungles. So we definitely don't want to forget Concealing Shadows. So probably we're forgetting one of these. I like the idea. Maybe we don't move our Dahan around. Maybe that's a mistake to be trying to do that. Well, not necessarily a mistake. But what about Mantle? No, I think we do forget Mantle. Mantle does have the fire on, which does boost visions. Where are we taking these? Thing is, if we do get the Concealing Shadows Ravage in here, well, there's only one natural place to move them to, and it's just here. So I think we're going to forget Mantle. Okay, and we get another Beast Stunk. Wow. Let's put it in here, because it might help. Okay, we get to add a Wilds. So if we were to get Pent-Up Calamity, it's the one where you remove spirit tokens to do damage, then that might be relevant. But actually, this is almost in the threshold of preventable build territory. This is unlikely to ever be in preventable build territory. Let's put it up here. Each player moves Explorer Town for land with disease. That's pretty good. Okay, so Mountain Blight in there. Get this town, get this town. This is probably getting let go as well. Jungle. You weren't meant to show up now, Jungle. Okay, but crops, we can do a bit of the old wither. Am I still planning to use Visions next turn to push this? Gets that crucial 3 energy. Yeah, Visions plus a cheap major. We could afford a 3 energy major next turn, which could save this, except that's a long way away. Probably won't save that. So I think we wither in here. Because we're planning, yeah, we're going to use Visions anyway. I guess if we did get Indomitable, I probably would use that instead, but because we won't have the energy to play Indomitable plus Visions, but I think the acceleration is particularly worthwhile. Okay, so we do have a solution for here. A Blight goes there, but what about maybe looking at a minor power? No. We need to start getting the heavy guns out. The big guns. Yeah, and if we did get paratroopers, we've got a good paratroopers defender there. And we are placing with a presence placement, so there's the paratroopers. So yes, I can never remember its actual name. Rapid Wings of Sunlight. Move up to 5 to harm from target land to any land. Defend 5 in that land. It can be funky because you need to have... It's a range 0. It's a very... I think it's actually one of Shadows' best cards. It doesn't have fire, so we're going to miss out on a fear. But we'll still get the 1 fear we need to prevent the double mountain builds. So... What do we forget? See, this is only 5 defend from Rap. So... It's not... It's still... Concealing Shadows with Rap is still actually worth hanging around because it's only 5 defend. Unless I can get a supplementary defend card. Like Quicken the Earth Struggles is ideal. So we're thinking... So what do we get rid of? Favors or crops? Favors... We do have Dahan movement now. And we're going to have the energy to use it. Crops Wither is currently our only way of getting the extra fear from Visions of Fiery Doom. But this is honestly forget fodder at this point. You know, after we've used it this turn. Yeah, a bit annoying, but it didn't go in sand. My whole plan ruined. I feel like Crops Wither is the one that's not doing anything right now. Yeah, we're going down a Dahan path. So... Oh yeah, and we're relocating from here anyway. Okay, it works out fine. So we put the presents in here. Yeah, this is good. This is very good. No, this is like one of the best mages in my experience of this matchup. Okay, so oh, wait a second. There might be a better way of doing this. Let me just quickly check. So the thing to think about is that this is a core card, right? The trouble is, if I was to teleport my Dahan into here, and then next turn I reclaim, I actually can't use this to bring that big lump of lands over to one of these lands. Which is a shame, because this is my power card. This is the thing that's going to do the heavy lifting here. So it might be the case that I'm better off putting a presence in this land, but actually only teleporting a single Dahan. Even though that won't really do much countering. But what it will mean is that when I use this next turn in this coastal jungle, then I'll have 4 Dahan counterattacking, killing a explorer town and a city. So I think I am teleporting from here, from this land here, yeah. Also, oh, but if I do, yeah. I think that's right. It's a little bit funky. I'm probably looking at a minor power next turn, but we've got a lot of energy. Cripes. Well, we won't have a lot of energy by the time we played these cards. I'm still not convinced. No, we need a minor power next turn. Okay, where am I pushing this town to? If I push the town to the coast, then this becomes guaranteed London. Which is kind of good. And you know, this next card could be coastal lands, it could be a sand. It's, you know, it's twice as likely to be a coastal land as anything else. I guess apart from these, but We don't want this to be our London. Push to here, we're creating a city. Push to here, we've got, that's a nice clear land. Push to here, we're just creating problems. I think we are pushing to this coastal sand. And then so this is going to be a city after the build. And it'll be our kind of second London. God, this maybe it's better to just let this go. Or is that just rather than caning the energy? Consider we'd spend 3 energy and we wouldn't destroy a town. We'd keep a blight from coming down. What it's really costing is next turn we'd start with 6 energy. So we could reclaim, gain a major, do a big useful defend in here, and play another modestly priced major. And we're paying 3 energy essentially to prevent a single blight going down, no counter. Or maybe this is a... Or if I actually do move all 4 Dahan over there. I guess we know that this isn't ravaging this turn, right? Maybe it's better to let this one go than to let this one go. 3 energy just for 5 defend without counters is very expensive. Yeah, Space Hawk, exactly. Exactly. And it might mean that I can't afford to do... But then maybe I'd be better to let this one go instead. Or possibly it's just I should be just transporting here to kill this town. But then I can't use it in here to kill a town or city. I actually think it's better to let it go. I think it's... Yeah, not 100% on that. Interested to know what you think, chat. /YouTube. Chat /YouTube. I think that is right, though, pushing to there. Because we then have the possibility of big concealing counter, except there's only 4 Dahan in there now. So probably do still want to get more Dahan over. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so invaders do +1 damage. I should have looked at the rest of it. Add disease to the jungle wetland with most buildings, and then remove a blight. Okay, tend the land. No, denied. There'd be no land tending here. That's a shame. So we're looking to put Dahan in here for a counter. So I'm not going to put disease in there. I'll put it in here. Yeah, it's a shame about that. Okay, we're into the... Oh no, it's only fear level, terror level 1, so nothing too funky, but we are skipping a build. Oh, so this build is not happening, so my whole plan to kill that city is in tatters. So no build in here. Okay, choice of Londons, I think we... Oh yeah, this is actually good. Yeah, we'll go in here. Okay, so this actually kind of has worked. I wonder if this is actually something to think about as a general strategy for Shadows. In this matchup, is just setting up for a coastal, having your Dahan on the coast, getting that fear early, and then setting up for a big counter. Especially as you can manipulate where London is. The trouble is, the boosted health means that this 4 Dahan actually is only killing 2 buildings. So you kind of need even more Dahan. And they've ruined everything by doing this. Oh, the other option we have now is to just not reclaim. What do we even forget for a major? Sometimes when I'm playing these games that are at the edges of my skill, I think, am I just losing my mind? I think the thing is, I've had these weird wins, like with River or something against Hello England, that just, you know, they shouldn't have happened. So we could wrap over here. I think we have to look at another major. I think we wrap to one of these lands, depending on what major we get. But nothing is forgettable. We want the Concealing Shadows in here. So maybe actually we want a minor power. I think we do. It's just that the tracks are so funky with shadows. You know, these are kind of funk issues that you don't worry about with other spirits. Well, my experience anyway. Okay, that's interesting. So spur will make it easier to get wrap, except it's still the threshold on wrap. Don't have it just yet. Bit of blight removal. Hello. We need to make sure we have the sacred site for renewing rain. Oh, Call to Tend is probably actually just more what we want, isn't it? We've already got a Blight and Dahan place. And it doesn't require a sacred site. And it has the push in too. Because 5 Dahan, 10 damage is a couple of towns and a city in the counter, which is pretty good. I think Call to Tend. I feel like that's an interesting little synergy with Concealing Shadows. Could get expensive, but... Okay, so we are going to want to play 3 cards next turn. So probably it'd be Concealing... Oh, the nice thing is we can wrap from here back to here, and then Concealing. So next time we're going to be wrap, Concealing, and then something else. So we definitely want the third play. And the movement. Yeah, this seems to cover a lot of bases, actually. And sea monster elements. Hey! You're a dreamer, Bacon. Sea monster elements. You gotta admire the hope that Pog monsters will come and save us. So you're losing this. Oh, if we defend. Where would I rather have a sacred site? Coast is more likely to show up again, so yeah, probably we defend in there with wrap. 5 land sea monsters board. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, right. It's a good day to be a sea monster. So we Call to Tending in here, and I think we defend in here because it is coast. And we've got a sacred site here, so we're not so worried about this one here. Yes, this land is way more likely to show up again. Bring everybody. Okay. Ugh. Beasts are attacking though, and extra Dahan Mountain or Sands. That's pretty nice. Always happy to see a few more Dahan. Beasts are going to do a little scroungly of damage. Oh Jesus, we didn't generate any fear last time. Oh God. May have overestimated my talents today. And cards, really. Extra Dahan, though. Happy with that. Yeah. I mean, luckily it's in a land type that doesn't matter, but yeah, not good. A pool. Okay, you can remove a town from somewhere and lose a presence. So we can use it to maintain. We could remove it from here to keep this London from being as Londony. And we'll just lose this. I think this presence here is least likely to be doing anything. So we'll remove from this here. So yeah, we're up to 5 now. Oh, here's where if the event cancels the Ravage, we're just very sad. You know. Okay, they're getting their extra build now. So if we choose... We can choose mountain or wetlands. Ugh. I mean... Wetlands, and then we've got... I think we choose... I guess... I think mountains, actually. Yeah, because this is still a little one. A fear card or an event card could help us in this mountain. And then we've got a call to tend. Ferret Blight card for some spirits. Fairly Mob is 3 Blight for the pool. Tough here. I think that the thing is, with the bigger Blight pools, you just end up with a kind of everywhere cascading situation. So... I mean, yeah, I think you definitely need at least 3. We do have some blight removal though, so removing this blight is kind of the obvious thing to do. But do we have better things to do? For example, pushing some Dahan into here. It's only going to be 1 extra Dahan. I think we do clean up. We do, because 4 Dahan is still 2 cities in the counter, which is good, and it should maintain this is London status. Okay, but bearing in mind that this is it's either going to have escalate or it's going to be coastal, so we do need to still be looking after things. And we have a little Ravage in here. Do I have anything that addresses that? Visions of Fiery Doom, but we've got no presence in there. Okay, that's a soft blight, but this is a big moment. It's a huge moment. So we are playing Wrap to bring these 4 into here, and then we're probably playing Concealing Shadows, unless we draw. Unless we get Quicken the Earth Struggles, in which case we might be able to just defend. We'll just be able to afford it. The combo of Quicken plus Wrap is how I've beaten England 6 before. Yeah, and we're at 3 plays now, so we want to definitely get up to 6 cards. Oh, Constancy. Cycles of Time and Tide's interesting here. Constancy is also very interesting because it means, well, it's constancy. It's just interesting. You know, you see it at a party, you want to approach it, you want to see what they're about. What do they think about this? What do they think about that? They're just very constant. That's what they think about everything. Oh. But this does mean I can use Wrap twice in a row, so it's a pretty big deal. Pretty big deal. And the energy means that we could go Constancy, Wrap, Shadows this turn, then next turn, and keep Wrap, and then next turn look at another major power. Because this will also mean we've effectively got more cards in our hand. Cycles of Time and Tide is also very good. But I don't think it's going to be enough. I mean, we could actually use it to add a Dahan, which is interesting. Which would mean we could kill 2 towns and a city instead of 2 towns. Sorry, instead of 2 cities. But actually, killing 2 cities is better for us, I think. Because then we're keeping London where we want it. So the fact it means we can reuse RAP is good. Are we going to want to reuse RAP? Yeah, we've got this high priority defend over here. More cards, but fewer plays. True. It gives you energy and it gives you constancy and it gives you happiness. It does, yeah. Yeah, you're right, Hawk. It's you know, I'm giving up a play essentially for that. But I think the fact that this is such a good card makes a big difference. Though we've got other problems. Because we're not generating incidental fear. It could be that Shadows of the Burning Forest is actually better. Because this jungle build here is going to be a double build because we're not really destroying anything. Luckily, the jungles aren't doing a lot. Our RAP will kill 2 cities, which is for fear, so we would at least be prevented from having another double build next turn. And we get to Terra 2. And I think it is this. I'm not 100% on this. So we've got this unfortunate Ravage up here, and we don't have, I mean, the event's unlikely. Oh, the event might grant defend to the Dahan, I suppose. That would be pretty nice. But we're going to have a double build here and here. Okay. So bring these. We've got this lone Dahan here, which could absorb an event disease damage. Urbanization, huh? Sickening. Oh no. Not retreat. Okay. So, more cities. And we do have to push... Oh, can we choose this land? Okay, well we got out of that one. So although I thought this might be a sacrifice to disease, turned out to be a sacrifice to that effect instead. But unfortunately, you do get double jungle builds. But what's this? We get to kill a couple of cities. But don't worry, they've built more. It's fine. Messy. We have a messy counter in here. What's the actual explore? Coastal lands. Okay. So, what does that look like? We're going to have build Ravage in a future turn in this jungle when these slide across. And what is that now? It's currently a 9 damage Ravage. It's quite a lot of damage. But I wonder if it could be something where, if we supplement the 5 defend from Rat with another defend card, it could be enough. Even Scary Forest for 3 defend would be enough, and it would be some useful fear. We obviously can't reclaim both concealing and wrap unless we just go for actual reclaim, which I think is a mistake. Also of note is that we've actually got this other more scary defend down here. That's a 10 damage ravage with blight. So this actually is the one we need to solve. I have to say, Jim, it's not looking good. But I think the wrap defend here is essential. So actually we don't really want a major defend. We want a supplementary defend. But I think having the major defend will help us go forward rather than if we get a supplementary defend, well, what do we do the turn after that? Probably we'll have to reclaim the turn after that for this coastal ravage. Yeah, I think this might be another L. Yeah. So do we look at a minor power to supplement? So we need a 6 defend in here to boost wrap to a good counter there, or quicken. We've not had either of those. We've got the energy to go for a major defend. And because it's a smaller deck, you know, we're more likely to get what we want. So something like winds wouldn't be enough on its own. But we could use it with wrap, which is, yeah, a bit horrible. But then we would have this in our hand, you know. Also, Paralyzing Fright exists. And we could just do that. As does Indo Clamo. Or even Infinite Vitality could be okay. If we don't defend this, we just lose. I mean, the event could... There's a chance that the ravage won't happen, and then we'll go, yay! We will go, yay, that's what will happen. I mean, there are 2 minor powers out of 55 that mean we survive that with the good counter that we want. Drift down isn't enough, I don't think. Drift down isn't enough. We've got 1 Terror level 2 fear card, which might make a difference. So resilience is enough, quicken's enough. Close to threshold of Winds of Rust. Winds of Rust needs flipping 4 water. Which is, you know, disgusting. Who has 4 water apart from Downpour? Sorry, 3 water. 3 water, 3 air is so awkward. I mean, but having it twice, it's ridiculous. It's so strong. So, you know, it's kind of understandable why it's awkward. So we've got the YOLO minor, or the YOLO major. I mean, the other thing is that Wrap could solve this on its own. If we bring 4 Dahan over, they could grant 4 extra defense. They could do some damage in here before the Ravage. That's unlikely, but... Also, just 3 fast fear would make a big difference. We do have a jungle presence for some fast beast fear, potentially. I think we have to look at a major. Because, you know, we might survive this round, but then what? But I guess the thing is that if we use a big expensive major, then we can't afford to play in both next turn. But then this is beyond the scope of... We are going up to 4 energy though. Yeah, I think it's a major. Okay, Indo Claimo. Good old Indo Claimo. And we do have Claimo friend Constancy in here. It's not even worth thinking about it. Sorry. not doing it. So we're also... There's too much blight on the island to really be entertaining Concealing Shadows. Do we want to play both of these for the big counter? Even though we do have the Call to Tend combo. And I wonder, actually, we probably just don't even want to use Wrap this turn. We just defend. And then defend in here with the big counter. Though Visions of Thaidoom's looking a little bit sad right now. I don't think it's going to be doing a lot. But especially as we've got no other Moonfire cards left. I think there might still be a place for Concealing Shadows. And Constancy could enable Claim if we gain another Earth card. And that's quite an iffy if. We don't have any supplementary fear tax, but I mean we can tack on Constancy. If we are looking to reclaim next turn, I'm thinking maybe going to the 4th play. So if we play the 3rd and then we use Claim, do we let this go? Or do we YOLO our 4 Dahan here into here for the hope that we get a defend event? We could even get the Dahan plus presence defend event. So it's so ropey. The counter though prevents double jungle build, which will be game losing. Oh yeah, and we need to prune London. So we are going to be Indomitable wrapping this turn, which will burn all of our energy. If we do this, we'll have an extra 2 energy next turn, which means we'll be able to play some more supplemental stuff. So I think we do place an energy one here. Yeah, we need to prune London. So only one more stage 2 card though. So I think... Oh, and we also get to play something else. Alright. That's actually pretty good. We can Favors Called Due to just bring these back. Because then we don't need to play Wrap next turn for the move. Or Call to Tend could just stop us losing. There's that as well. Because we're going to be leaking a Blight here. I know people often say that Spirit Island is a kind of, you know, bleak situation simulator. But I really don't fancy my odds on this one. So we are reclaiming next turn. I think we care more... Oh. We're not going to get this 4th action until we Indomitable again. And then we'll get it the turn after. But we'll be kind of broke. Though I'm thinking when I reclaim, I'm probably going to look for a minor power with Earth on to maybe get Indo's claim. Indo Claimo Thresholdo, as his friends call it. But that extra energy, what does that actually mean? It means actually I can supplement Indomitable Claim with another useful minor power. So I think we go with the energy. Doesn't matter if you've got. Yeah, I think that's just right. So we want a sacred site. Let's have a. Okay, yeah, we'll have this here because then we've got sacred site adjacent to the whole coast. What do we get here? Sacred sites under threat. Oh god. Okay, you've only got 2 sacred sites, but we might not have any sacred sites after this turn. So we've got no energy, no fire cards. If we repulse them, we lose because we have to remove a blight from the blight card. And then a blight goes down to that coastal jungle. We just lose in the ravage. We do get a little bit of beast stunk, so we have to guard them. So we're losing 2 presents, which is a little bit sad. But we do get a little sprinkling of beast stock. And we did get the minor power. Least favourite event. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. But 3 minor power. Thanks. This is going to be up to a 12 damage ravage next turn. That's sickening. So drift down is not going to make a whole lot of difference. Oh, except it's an earth card. That's actually kind of the most critical thing. It means that Indomitable will be granting 3 fear in the fast phase. If we have any chance of winning, it's by rushing the fear. The other thing is that drift down has perfect elements for paralyzing fright. That's the other thing. I need another bio break. It's too exciting. Yeah, Fire in the Sky is really good, but it doesn't do enough here. Don't think, anyway. Whereas this opens the possibility of paralyzing fright cheese, and it's up. Yeah, Hawk. It does supplement wings up to a 9. I mean, I think this the fact that it gets the extra 3 fear from claim and at 0 energy cost. It's kind of, and this skip actions is good against England. Though we're getting out of the escalation effect danger zone-ish. But it does mean you can kind of ride very close to the edge. So I think it is drift down. But yeah, kind of nice bonus to have. What fear card we get? Each player adds a strife in a land with Dahan. So, our counterattack here is 2 cities, that's fine. So I don't really want to mess around with health totals in there. Oh, that's the only place we've got. Okay, fine. Whatever. Whatever, game. So we'll get to kill an extra explorer. Oh, no, we won't, because it'll go. When the ravage happens, it'll go. Never mind. We're down to one blight on the island. So we'll kill 2 cities. And now there's this problem. So this is probably Indo-Claymore with Threshold to just not lose. Oh no, oh no, we don't have a build there. So we've got a few options of places to remove blight from. I guess this is the... Oh no, there's no Dahan in there. We've got two options to remove blight from. Let's remove from... Both of these have got 2 Dahan in, so an event might clear that blight for us. Do we still have... We've still got Concealing Shadows. This is more of a Concealing Shadows kind of spot, so we'll remove from here. So this is a 19 damage Ravage. I wonder whether the push... Big on 1 blight just means you can just lose from the event. So... We've only got 3 presents left on the island as well. Let's remove the blight. Actually... Yeah, we can't afford to wrap Indomitable. Yeah, look how far it's rough, Jim. But at least we can let this one go. Isn't that great? We can get up to 9 defend with Drift Down and Wrap. I mean, we could get help from the Fear deck. I think we have to reclaim. Oh yeah, we can't afford Wrap. But we can potentially... God, we're so far. So far to go. I didn't promise you any wins today. I just want to be clear on that. Wondering if it's worth looking at another major. I don't think we're going to have a better major play than Indomitable Claim this turn. Canny Defense Gamble. Which one's Canny Defense? That's is that 1 defend per Dahan. So if we wrap into hit, the thing is, where do we get... We need to do something about this as well. That's the trouble. So... Oh, and there's like Coastal Defense Fear card as well. I don't think we've had that yet. That could grant 6 defend or something in that ballpark. So I think if we Indomitable gift Drift Down with 4 in there. I don't think there's a... I guess a fast Fear card could make a difference. Though we don't have the luxury of playing it if we want to get this threshold, because we have to play Indomitable, Drift Down, and Gift. So whatever we're playing, we're not... Whatever we're doing, we're not using this turn. So maybe... I think the only way we win is by something like Dahan, farmers seek Dahan for aid to prevent the Ravage. So there's a build instead of Ravage. But then we lose in here anyway. But if we've Indomitable claimed in here, then we skip that action. This is very... I'm clutching at straws here. I think that's the only way. So this Ravage will become a build. Then next turn doesn't look anywhere near as hard. I think that's it. That's the only chance. If that happens, what do we need? We need some kind of finisher major. If we survive, I don't think we can improve on the Indomitable Gift Drift turn. Actually, wait a second. Yeah, there's no minor power we can play in here. that keeps us alive. So I think we look at a major. I mean, there might be a world where we prefer to play Paralyzing Fright, but here's something horrible. We've got no sacred sites. Because sacred sites under threat came up and threatened all of our sacred sites. I said, look, peasant, you've got 2 sacred sites. Not anymore, you don't. Yoink. So yeah, we look at a major. I mean, at least we can look at it. Sea monsters. I'd never really realised that Call to Tend had the sea monsters elements. This is so rarely a good card for me. But this is pretty much academic. So let's just take the monsters and dream. It is a good board for monsters, as Bacon did point out. Indomitable Gift to Han trade. Gift. I mean, I think the only the only option that keeps me in the game is I think Drift in here is the only hope, and then some support from the fast fear from Indomitable is necessary. We need to gift and drift. But if we do cheese out of it by let's just check. Have we already had the event? No, we haven't had the call to trade. Oh, okay. You talk about a card I don't have. Oh, call to trade. Right. The trouble with call to trade is I need Dahan in the land to target it. It's such a cool card, but it's so satisfying when you get to use it. But and it has the paralyzing fright elements as well. I mean, we do have a coastal beast. If we survive, this is a wombo win potentially, even if it's slow. Talons is just too expensive for, I guess we've got this option. I'm going to take sea monsters. We're not going to get to use it. Let's face it, Jim. So, I think we have to do this for any shred of chance to win. Yeah, and we're largely hoping that the fear deck takes pity on us. So, we are preventing all actions in there. Do we, in this hypothetical future turn, do we want 4 actions or do we want extra energy? If we grab onto Indomitable, if we get it back with Gift of Constancy next turn, we could play Indomitable with Wrap 7. If we go with the energy growth option, 7, 9 for 4. You're Piezo maths. It's a vague form of imprecise maths. The 4th action, we don't have a great tacker, but I guess we do have Constancy we could tack. Oh, we're about to get a bit of energy. We've got the energy from Constancy. I think we actually play this one. And let's make a Sacred Site. Sacred Site's under threat has gone now. Hey, Trent. Happy Elden Ring Day to you too, my friend. How have you got it yet? Have people? I've seen that some streamers have got it, but I think they got their copy early, didn't they? But is it in general release now? It came out at midnight. Did you play it at midnight? I know you enjoy your FromSofts. One of my colleagues took a vacation day to play it. What a nerd. Do you mean you? I know you slapped, okay. I don't know. I'm very much a patient gamer. Apart from indie multiplayer games, you've got to get in there fast while there's still a scene. That's the only... yeah, understandable hype. So you... What day is it? Friday. I guess that's the weekend plan, right? So yeah, we want to make a sacred site. And paralyzing fright is the thing I've got in mind. So I guess we put it here because it's just got the largest number of relevant adjacencies. I think we go for... If we do grab paralyzing fright, we're going to be broke. We're going to want every bit of energy we can have. What are you on about, peasant? This is the indomitable placement. Oh, but I'm choosing the option. No, go here. Get the fourth play. Okay, let's see if we get lucky. We don't get lucky. Devastated shores. We do get canny defense, though. Okay, so we can nuke 2 of our presents. Yeah, we have to nuke 2 presents. We're gambling on getting the coastal defend card, so we could just gamble on that. Just place the presents anyway. But I think we don't. So where do we want to have our last remaining presents? Oh no, we'll keep a sacred site in here. Will we? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Beasts are going to move and do a damage. Well, that's dramatic. Oh, in here could make a difference for the fear card. You said, I know you did. Bacon knew all along. Damn it. So the canny defense gamble, like, it doesn't work though. That's the trouble. Because we've got to defend in here as well. We've got this all-important not losing business to do in here. This is the trouble. We didn't have the energy to both Indomitable and Wrap. Kill an Explorer. This could be relevant for the fear cards. Each player may push up to 3 explorers or towns from an inland land. Well, how wonderfully relevant. This country. It's one of those situations where I think I'm just as likely to make things worse for myself as to make them better. So we do have sea monsters. Lol monsters. I'd rather push the beast into this wetland, honestly, but because this might help with this last fear card. You're clutching at straws, present. Present? Who the hell's present? I'm certainly not present. Okay, I think we push from here to make this more defensible even. Each player adds a strife in a different land with at least 2 invaders. Then each player takes a... Yeah, so we've lost. We're losing in the Ravage. Damn it. Damn it. It's all risky, yeah. So for any spirit, good fear generation is key to beating England, and we just haven't got that. But it's so hard to squeeze it in. I know that our start cards have got good fear generation in, but then we're not really doing that much on the board. Okay, so now we. So yeah. We had that with paratroopers, which I think is actually one of the very best major powers for this run, for this matchup. One of the top. Was that the third? I think that might be the third attempt. So, law of averages. If I just try 3 more times, I'll just get it. I'll just get that win. because that's how it works. Okay, it's the flipping Mountain Explorer again. This is the one that I was saying was the worst. Because you don't have a preventable build, you don't have an early Concealing Shadows counter. All you've got is this mantleable, the mantle. Well, you do have the, I mean, you still got a good dread favors. I guess it largely depends on what follows, right? So we need to put in here for mantle. Look at this speedrun. You've never seen me move this fast. I actually like bringing this explorer in with this beast. I thought the fourth run was a pass point of return via vis-a-vis spoons. Yeah, possibly. We'll see. We will see. Oops, I did that the wrong way around. So we... Oh, we did get the jungle though. Okay, that's reasonable. So yeah, already it's a better run than the last one because we actually didn't get mountain wetlands. I think it's just the worst possible start. Thanks for the good luck. In the 6th speedrun with shadows, yeah. It's probably the best way to actually get a win. It's probably not to agonize, it's to hope for the perfect conditions. So yeah, we'll push into here. So this is gonna blight this turn. We need to put a present somewhere to use crops. We do get the fear even if we don't use the effect though, so actually maybe we... Oh, we've got that weird situation where because mountain was first rather than sand or jungle, we actually don't have a Concealing Shadows this turn, but I think that's okay. I think it's fine. So we're not concealing this turn. We're concealing next turn. Actually, we'll probably crops wither in here. Just to keep England a little bit pruny. Or if we get... Well, let's just look at a minor power. If we get a good defend card, we could do something in there. So we do want to play something with crops wither this turn. Hey, Mega Chris. See, this game has just started. Yeah, game number 4. You're rattling through. So, Pact of the Joint Hunt is actually an interesting card. Because as shadows, we are generally slinging 4 dudes around. It's basically speedrunning England 6 with Bringer one night. No success, just near victories. It's such a fun matchup, though, England 6 Bringer. It's fun. I actually managed it pre the Blight Errata as well somehow. Sure. Yeah. In the app, before the app had it added as well. Don't know how... Well, I guess it's recorded. It's on video. Hard to believe. Back to the Joint Hunt's interesting. Here. Because we've got a turn off. I could place a presence with Pact of the Joint Hunt in here. Just kill a city for 1 energy. And then I could crops wither the town that gets built afterwards. Oh, I'll probably crops wither this town instead. Interesting. But then we've got the counter anyway, so we're kind of doing it. We're not doing anything much with it. It's a world where we like absorb corruption, which is so flippin' expensive. Almost got there with Sea Monsters cheese. Oh, it's some fine cheese there. Hey, thanks for the follow, Turbo. It's some fine cheese. Pact, because we could be using Pact in conjunction with Favors. I mean, that is a city kill and potentially 3 fear. It's a 5 fear play setting up a future Concealing Shadows. It's a bit funky, right? Because because we have to set up quite well. 3 games in less than 3 hours. Peasant does speed runs now. The previous ones against the lower England. No, they're all England 6. It's only it's all been England 6. A confrontation which I have won before, I promise you. My photoshopping is not good enough to to fake screenshots. It is packed to the joint, hun. It's a bit... Maybe we hope to draw another minor pack. We might be going very off-piste here, but if we were to just draw a minor defend power, could be in a nice situation there. And I think this is going to be good on future turns. Impressive. I don't know about that. So if we pack to the joint hunt, destroy the city, crops wither and fade to destroy the town that gets built, and then we can use our innate if we draft a moon fire card. That's a lot of ifs you've got there, peasant. Yeah, no, I've got some ifs. The thing is, we need the presence in there for both pact and crops wither. Am I just wasting an energy by doing that? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. Let's... Okay, exploring for +1 distance and disease and fierce mean. Okay. So we're not going to have any slow damage, so we'll just take out the explorer. Oh, I did underestimate the fear card. Terror level 1 does nothing. Remove explorer or town from land with disease. All right, that's pretty good. Terror level 1 does nothing. Oh yeah, actually, it does do something. We just let them blight a little bit. You know, these Europeans love blighting everything. There are now 3 strategies: top track, bottom track, and what the hell's that? If. It's just like a series of ifs. If this, and this all happen, then we're all doing very well. Oh, of course, these happen at the same time, don't they? Oh, okay, yeah, so we can actually downgrade this city to a town and then actually just clear it back to the joint hunt. That's kind of intriguing. We get... If we just kill... The thing is, our odds of getting a moon fire card are actually relatively low. But then we don't need to Concealing Shadows next turn. But then we're in a weird spot because we haven't uncovered our 3 energy yet. And reclaiming on 1 energy is gross. But maybe it's okay. Reclaim on 1 energy income. What do we even do? I guess we could reclaim, try and hope to get a useful 0 cost card. They do exist. It's nice, you know, it's nice to be off-piste as well. So we'd be... Yeah, I think so. So we'll downgrade the... Oh, wait. No. Actually, because of the way that the extra health works, it actually makes sense to downgrade the town, right? Because we're actually effectively removing 2 health there. And then if we pact... Yeah, that's it. Oh, no, it doesn't. It doesn't work. No idea. We still need to do something about that. So we do have 2 ravages to defend. So if we were to reclaim... we would at least be able to yoink this explorer somewhere to kind of deal with this land, but that's assuming we get our threshold. Oh no, but if we reclaim, we can get it. So we have to use mantle or crops with concealing shadows, and concealing shadows won't do much apart from gain us a fear. You'd always go for energy 3 first, so the board allows it. Yeah, I think it's what you're meant to do. I don't think it really works if you don't do that. But we've already gone a little bit weird with Pact. But I think with these being jungles, I think there are actually quite a few cards that could, quite a few minor powers that could help us here. Like this. Oh, Inflame the Fires of Life will mean we can use our innate to remove this Explorer. But just a defend card. Great, you'd love to see them. So we would be letting a blight down here. This is a very safe defend. Yeah, we can't let the island blight this early. Especially not with no good solution in those sands. So I think we ambushes. Get that third energy. Okay, so we didn't get mountain in stage 1, so it could be reasonable to. I guess at this point, at start stage 2, we don't know anything about what we're going to see. This is almost a preventable build. I feel like the crops wither in here if you don't get the early mountain build is pretty nice, because you do still get a few preventable builds in the later game. Is it ruined? Is it all gone terribly? So there's no point hanging on to Concealing Shadows. It's not going to do anything for us next turn. That's 2 YOLO even for me. So we'll just gain a fear. Actually, you know what? Events might push these Dahan in here for some reason. No. Builders have an extra health. You've already got enough of that. Steady on now. So we do get an extra Dahan. See, I like the 4 is better. So I'm going to add to this down here. Because if we use Favours Called Due, then we're not leaving behind stragglers. And 1 in all lands. We nearly got lucky. It's a very soft blight to lose. Okay. Oof. And this is not the London we want. It's far away from our Dahan, and it's going to take us 2 turns to bring our Dahan over there. Which is too. I mean, the nice thing is, it's not actually it's not building this turn. Maybe it's not terrible. And by bringing these Dahan over, we'll be gaining loads of fear in the process. So maybe I shouldn't complain so much. Unfortunately, we're going to have a blighted island unless we can do something about one of these. There's no Dahan in these lands just yet, so this is a good mantle here, though. We've already got the presence. There's going to be a build. But we probably want to be looking at mages now. We'll have 5 energy this turn. Though I quite like the look of Favours Pact. In fact, we could Favours Pact into here rather than mantling. And that's kind of that's going to gain us a chunk of fear and get them over here to start repeatedly pacting in here. I guess if this is mountain, then what's that going to look like? It's going to mean we need some big major defend cards. I guess we'll start looking now. Well. Infinite Vitality kind of is. I mean, it's an alternate strategy, right? Instead of, you know, your Dahan have +4 health, so they still die. It's a bit grim to be using Concealing Shadows as well as Vitality. Might be necessary. Terrifying Nightmares we could use to relocate England. And we do have all of our starting moon cards. But 4 plays is so rare. Rare to get to. And Vitality, I think, is just too passive. If we play Sea Monsters this turn, we're not doing anything else. Though we can just use Vitality to keep this land here blight free. Nightmares looks interesting. Well, yeah, Fire and Flood's way too expensive. Though, I mean, we do have this option sometimes, but I mean, especially as the thresholds aren't even that great for us. I mean, you do have fiery stuff, I suppose, but it's just too expensive. I mean, we can use Nightmares to push these away, prevent this ravage. We can use Nightmares to relocate London as well. I mean, we are in stage 2, so the escalation effect is a problem. Just realised we can use Mantle of Dread to kind of to push towns out of here as well. Blight Prevention is better than removal. It's much better than a Cascade, if I'm with you. Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's a good thing to have in the toolkit, but if you're passive in this confrontation, it might, well, honestly, 83% of the time you just lose this whole matchup anyway. But I think being passive doesn't work against England, unfortunately. For Sea Monsters, we haven't that many beasts on the board yet. We've only got our starting beast right now and no beast adding. The thing is that Sea Monsters can do so much, but yeah, I think it's clutching at straws. I think possibly Vitality, just because, I mean, it's okay. We just won't use it. We'll probably replace it with another major. I mean, Nightmares would save us a Blight in here, even if we just play it once. Couple of fast fear. As long as we generate another 2 fear, we'd prevent the double build next turn in the sands, which would be... We need to prevent most double builds. And if we were to play Terrifying Nightmares, we're only on 2 plays this turn anyway, so I guess it's Terrifying Nightmares o'clock. And where would we push these to? Probably to here, where they'll build a city, but... What the hell do I want to forget here? Concealing Shadows isn't going to do much work in here, but if we push to here, then there will be future work for Concealing Shadows. But what the hell else do we forget? Maybe crops. Though I like the idea of using favors to bring Dahan over here, but I think that might just be bad. It's just bad, peasant. And we've got a good mantle here this turn. In fact, our Dahana already kind of placed fairly well. Is that last perhaps the least useful? It hasn't been that useful in my game so far. What, Pact of the Joined Hunt? I think if I'm not using favorites, I mean, yeah, this is probably... The thing is, this is a lot of damage for not much cost. I mean, I'm almost tempted to use this turn, but we probably want to mantle from here instead. Yeah, I don't know. The dream of Pact is over. So I think maybe this, so we can push from here. The only place I think that's okay to push to is here. So they'll build a city. But mantle will gain the fear we need to prevent the double sand build, and it will mean we don't have to worry about this ravage here. And we'll be pushing those towns somewhere else as well. Oh, if we push them to here, then we can set up for an eventual big counter. Just played a 4-player game last night. So good. Yeah, Spirit Islands is an incredible game. Oh, Bastion. Very nice. Though I made the mistake of playing Bastion after I'd played Hades, where it did feel a bit like I was playing a Hades prototype. But yeah, Spirit Island is... Ah, what a game. What a game. And if you find it fun, you could just try this matchup. Feel a bit like Gimli when I play this. You know, like, chance of success, very low. Is the app supposed to have multiplayer soon? Yeah, they're working on it. It's in open beta right now. So if you had the app, then you could... I'm pretty sure you can just open up, get it in the beta branch. If you want to check in on the progress of the app, then the lovely Handelabra Games... Give them a little shout out, see if it works. The devs stream it every Saturday. Can't spell Handelabra. Is that right? Have I done it right? My bot probably doesn't work. But anyway, they're not hard to find if you look for them. Yeah, so they're working on it. There's still some bugs, but they're working on it. And they will just work on it till it's good, because that's what they do. They are good. How much of a griping Graham I can be. That's wonderful. Oh, we actually have our innate as well. So yeah, that's gonna get an escalation in here. Well, unless we get coastal lands, but interestingly, that's fine for future terrifying nightmares. Can I really try and push to 4 actions because this extra 4 fear is that's a lot of fear. Somewhere between 3 and 5 fear. We don't want to push to either of these places, so I think we are pushing into here. Do I not have a sacred site? I don't have a sacred site. Cities are doing extra damage. But yeah, the thing I love about the app is not having to enforce the rules, especially when I'm streaming. Because I'm multitasking. It's when I just play Spirit Island, I don't talk. I don't read other things at the same time. So I've got a bit more space in my my brain. That's how the metaphor works, right? Okay, so disease, let's add it into this land here. So I think that will actually prevent the escalation build. Because I think that's right. Each player may gather a town into a coastal land. So we could prevent this city build. Let's prevent this city build by grabbing... But I quite like that this is in our land with Concealing Shadows. That works for me. Nicholas had a 3-player game of Spirit Island last week. There's some confusion about Mantle of Dread in there. My fellow player used it to move an explorer from a land with Dahan in it, but with no presence. Ah, yeah, that doesn't work, unfortunately. Because the Shadows card says you can use any power from a land with Dahan. I said this doesn't work that way in the app, but he did the move from that Dahan land anyway. was like, Mega Chris, I don't care how much you've played this game. You're wrong. You played Ocean's Hungry Grasp. Loved it. Yeah, yeah. Ocean is one of my... I've got a lot of favourites, but Ocean is up there, as is Green. Ocean and Green. And Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares. And Fractured Days. Though I'm terrible with Fractured Days. I just use the excuse that I haven't worked out how to film it well, you see, to not embarrass myself. But yeah, Ocean is wonderful. And great solo. So if you have... Don't stop yourself playing it solo. I think we bring this town into here as a second. Preventing the city build is something, but we don't care. Yeah, we want the destruction in here. Okay, let's see what our Blighted Island card is. Back Against the Wall. This is actually one of my favourites. I'm not sure it's wise to keep it, but we don't have a cascade this turn. So yeah, that's So each spirit gains +1 energy and +1 card play. It's a huge power up, and this is the ideal time to get it in a way because we don't have an immediate cascade. The trouble is that we will only have 2 blight in our blight pool. This can be amazing if you've already got blight removal, because then you can just use that extra play and energy to do a bit of blight removal, and then all of a sudden you've got extra plays and energy. We've got this incoming problem, and we've got this big problem, but this extra energy means we can use Nightmares earlier with Threshold. It's a bit YOLO, but this is not an ideal board. If we are going to use Concealing Shadows, we'd want a bigger blight pool than that. Sometimes that card plays the clutch, but not as good as Aid from Minor Spirits. Yeah, I love Aid from Minor Spirits. It's I think it's a little bit overpowered, but I love it anyway. It's tricky. It would be easier to play Nightmares with Threshold earlier. Yes, and that 4 fast fear is a big deal against England. And it means we can start grabbing supplementary minor powers. So I think we keep this, but this is not a good... I don't think this is a winning board position as it stands. Yeah, it's just not. So I think we keep it. If we were to get one of the more modest, I don't think we'd be in any better position. So I think we keep it. The trouble is we are very vulnerable to events that that arbitrarily add blight to the board. Because we have such a small blight pool. So if we can find a blight removal card, that is absolutely a priority. So we'll push from here. And now that we've got this, maybe I'm thinking. So we definitely don't push into here. This is a nice empty land. Don't really want to push in there either. Currently we have no solution for this, and this is coastal, so we're going to have a big ravage that we need to do something about. And our Terrifying Nightmares will not do it. We will not do anything about the cities in here. I mean, if we do get blight removal, there might be a world where we can have... Interestingly, we've got blight in every single land type, which is... I didn't do that deliberately. I think this is... that can't be right. The trouble is, this does have no blight on it, We could Concealing Shadows and use a big major defend in here, potentially, to stay alive. And what is this? This is a 7 damage. After the build, it's going to be a 9 damage. There's one minor power that can save us there. So the thing is that this is kind of a hard defend regardless. So adding an extra 3 on there, I mean, it does make a difference. It does. Don't be silly, peasant. I think I'm going to push to this jungle. Yikes, I don't know. Or I could push into a couple of different places. The only place we're definitely not pushing into is this mountain, because we're getting too close to our loss condition. Interestingly, we can make this London, but it's going to make itself London anyway in this build. I'll push the Explorer in here with the Beast. Beast might take care of it. Let's not have a city build in here next turn. I think it is in here. Okay, so we've got the Wetland Ravage. We have no in-hand solution to that apart from Terrifying Nightmares, which is ridiculous. But we need to push down our tracks, even though we are at 3 plays and 4 energy. If we were to reclaim, we wouldn't be able to play much more than Terrifying Nightmares. So I think we need to push forward and hope to do something to draw a solution for this. Hope for Quicken, says Mega Chris. Or Indo Claimo. Quicken is probably better than Claim for Shadows. Yes, I think it can be. Because it opens up this Fast Fear possibility that you don't have if you... This is significant, but you have to flip-flop it. It's all these semi-incoherent terms I have. We've got double builds in here. We've got sand and the wetland build. We need a big defend for a hill we lose. Defend or action skip. So I think we have to look at a major. I think that's just the facts. There are a few that will help us here. What's our turn look like if we get an expensive major? We actually don't need an expensive major this turn. This is annoying. We've got this 3 damage Ravage that we kind of would ideally do something about. No help for the wetland. Yeah. Quicken. If we place a presence, we'll have a sacred site somewhere. We not only need the Dahan, we need a sacred site somewhere on the board as well. But Quicken in here would be good. I mean, it wouldn't quite be enough, actually. But with our innate, we could pull a Dahan out of here. And then it would be a bit close for comfort, but it should be okay. We do... Thing is, unless the event really ruins us, we should survive this turn. If we get Blight removal, I'm happy with that. If we could remove this Sand Blight, that's also pretty good. If we play this here, we've got 3 plays. So we could play all of our minor powers and gain a load of fear. Are our backs against the wall? They certainly are against the wall. Yeah, that's why you can't skip. You're trying to scoot past. Oh, I can't fit through. Yeah, my back's against the wall. You have to go around the front way. Yeah, we can generate a load of fear this turn. The trouble is... Oh. There's more trouble. We need to generate 3 fast fear. Otherwise, we've got double sand builds. Yeah, I think this might be balked. So, how do we generate 3 fast fear? We can generate 2 fast fear with a number of minor powers. So I think we are looking at a minor power to prevent the catastrophic Yeah, but then we lose in the Ravage next turn. I think this might be an L. Sorry. Sorry, everybody. Might be an L. Hey, Keith. Poultry can deliver fast fear. Hyperlight Drifter. That's a pretty looking game. Someone's building a car in my neighbourhood. Did you move to Finland? I hear that's all they do there. You didn't draw that card. No. He drew... I mean, the ultimate sky stretches to YOLO, making a slow power fast. All of a sudden, everything can save you. So we didn't... Okay, well, we can at least defend in there. That's a small victory, right? If you use Encompassing Ward, which has interesting elements. I don't know, but it's making tons of noise. Ah. Concealed by shadows is 1 fast fear. Innate is 2 if we get to destroy a couple of explorers. We need another moon air card to do so. Okay, we could go to 3 plays. We could play all of these cards and then we'd have the right amount of fire. I want to solve this problem though. But yeah, you're right. You're right. If I do get the innate, then we do have the... If we play all these, we would gain a card which might help us with this, but it's only going to be at... Oh, it will be Terror level 2. It might help us with that. And the nice thing is we would generate a boatload of fear for a future turn. Actually, we wouldn't generate that much. We'd get a bit from crops, but favours wouldn't gain us anything. Unless there's Explorer in here, but we don't really want to move these Dahan away from here. And we still... I guess the trouble is we'll have 1 chance to draw the major that will solve this Coastal Sands. Let's imagine we draw a major that solves the Coastal Sands. Encompassing Ward would actually work as a defense in that coastal mountain. There would just be an extra town in there. So we draw a good defend with Encompassing Ward. But the double builds in the sands... It's rough. Megaris will probably pick Sky, but not sure how that will work out. Is there enough fire for the level 2 innate? Yeah, I only need 2 fire for the level 2 innate. The trouble is that it's all kind of distributed because we don't have mantle anymore. Skull could YOLO some cheese. It could YOLO some cheese. But I'm not sure what cheese would actually work. And this keeps an extra blight on the card. And we can use it next turn in here. I think this is the pick. Fast Tsunami with Threshold. Okay. Do we have the other... We do have another water card. we could just go all in on that. Oh, the no fast sea monsters for us. Yeah, so we do have an extra play because our back is against the wall. That's just what happens. That's why whenever I'm in a building, I do like to have my back against the wall. Just feel more energetic that way. Because when my back's not against the wall, I'm just checking that there's people behind me all the time. It's very, very energy consuming. But unfortunately, we can't get that 2 fast fear if we use Ward, because we need all 3 of these moons and both of these fires. I'm now thinking about this fast tsunami idea. So for fast tsunami costs 6. We need a total of 8 energy to do the fast tsunami. we need an energy for sky stretches, an energy for elusive ambushes, because that's our only other water card, and then 6 energy for tsunami. And of course we need to draw it. We need to draw, so we'd have roughly a 1 in 10 chance of being offered tsunami, and we'd need 8 energy to do it. Flap, thanks for the flap redeem and the well done. I'm just spitballing. I think it is actually one of my better chances of winning. Sky is YOLO and Ward is only postponing a loss. Well, thanks for your confidence, Chris. No, you are right. I think this is a loss. But I'm just going to flap my hands here. Because it's been paid for. Bought and paid for. Wonder why I flap my hands. It helps with my hand issues, which I have, which are a lot of fun. Okay. Well, we do have a possibility of surviving next turn with encompassing board. That's the thing. Because oh wait, the double build takes this up to 6, which is a loss actually, because this is guaranteed to have an escalation effect on it. So that 3 buildings there will go 4, 5, 6, and then 7. So we actually so this is not really even a problem. It's the sound of war I hear. This is the sound of me trying a very difficult Spirit Island challenge. That's what it is, Keith. Wasp is near Talon's threshold. So I think we actually do need to make sure we don't have the double build so we don't lose here, right? So the way of doing that is crops, favors, we're basically playing all 4 of these cards. We're going to have an extra play if we play from here. But we could supplement in one of these cards instead. I feel like encompassing ward, we could, I mean, it is a defend for next turn. I don't care what you say. But that we won't get the fast fear if we do play this. But we could put in ambushes. Ambushes won't do anything for us this turn. So it makes sense to just put in wasps to get the fire from wasps. I think that's what I'm doing. I can't justify myself. Okay, so we are YOLOing. One of our only options to prevent the loss in this ravage is paralyzing freight. So we want a sacred site somewhere. We'll have it here. What are the odds of drawing talents? 1 in 10. We've got 39 cards. Or sorry, 1 in... Slightly better than 1 in 10. This guy's also power flight threshold. I mean, it does have the paralyzing fright. Air, earth. We don't have any other earth though. I mean, I don't think we're not gonna have anything that can clear this land. Okay, I think in Jagged Earth you've got cards like Obsidian Forest, which I think if you had the threshold you could clear a land like this in the fast phase. But I don't think in Branch and Claw we've got anything that will do that against England with the extra health on their buildings. So we're deep in the YOLO zone now. We will at least get a couple of fear from that. Cast down. Where am I going to find all the energy for these cast downs? Honestly. Weirdly, I think this challenge might be easier. I'm not being trolled by chat. Okay, where do we put beast? We've already discarded sea monsters, right? So our beast options are things like Locusts, which we can't afford. Because there's no justice in this world. So we could actually let's kill this. Oh no, we're spending energy doing that. I don't think we want to spend an energy. So I think we actually do. We yoink one from here. You have 1 extra energy per turn. Yeah, I do. But so, where do we slap a beast? Somewhere on the coast, because it might prevent a ravage. Or it might even prevent a build. I'm going to put it in here. That is a possible thing. Years of little rain. Yeah. Beast attack. I didn't even factor in beast damage. Damn it. Okay. Do we have... Here's a mistake that's easy to make. Spend the water element while not even being in with a Dahan. But I am in with a Dahan. So it's okay. I may or may not have done that recently off stream. We only have 1 water card and it's Elusive Ambushes. But Elusive Ambushes does nothing in the face of what we're dealing with here. And the land withering here does not help us because it could just mean we lose this turn. So we're definitely easing. And every energy matters. So we'll forget Elusive. So we do get another presence now. We're going to have to reclaim next turn. If we take energy, then we'll have 7 energy to play, which means that looking at another major is viable. This is the only place we can put it, I think. Oh no, we could put it down here. Could we? We could put it down there. Weirdly, this is actually better for targeting. So we'll put it in here. Yeah, beast damage. I did not really factor that in. So, kill a couple of explorers. Energy, I think. Yeah, I think it's right. Each player chooses a different land with Dahan. Invaders take 1 damage per Dahan there. That's a nice little freebie. So, kill a city. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. I just undid that. The reason I did that is that if I kill explorers, I can favors called due and gain these 3 fear. So I'd actually be gaining more fear in total. I could drag these Dahan into here, but I'm hoping that they'll help with this coastal defend. So I don't want to move the Dahan anywhere. So actually, it would be better to reduce the number of invaders in here. I think. For the sake of generating more fear. Oh, we could get unlucky with the Explorer as well, anyway. Oh, and they build in the coastline, don't they? Jesus Christ, peasant. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so don't mind. Oh yeah, we can crops wither. So we've got Ravage build in here, which is a loss, and we have Escalation build here. The only way we survive this is Paralyzing Fright. That's the only way. We could Crops Wither in here to take this down. But I think... Oh yeah, we don't actually reduce the number of invaders with Crops Wither, so that was a mistake in there. Not that I can afford to make mistakes. Oh, we can just favors in here. That's fine. So next turn of this Ravage, or what are we actually looking at? 5, 7, 8 damage Ravage. So I think we actually want to reduce this damage down by 1. That will take it into the range where Winds of Rust and Atrophy will successfully defend it. And somehow, if I draw Paralyzing Fright and win Suppressed and Atrophy, then we'll be on to a winner. There'll be no winning here. So now we reclaim. We've got 7 energy. We are so far away from Terra 3 that the YOLO fear method is less likely to work. And this is the trouble with these very low, well, for me, low win rate confrontations, is you're like, at what point do you just move on? And I tend to just struggle bitterly to the end, hoping that I'm learning something, but I don't think I learn anything. So yeah, we're not getting bonus fear from Paralyzing Fright if we do get it. Interesting next time with Winds and Power of Fright. Yeah. That is not happening. 6 fear from Terrifying Nightmares. But we lose to this. Oh, we could Terrifying Nightmares to push these towns out. That's possible. But then we just lose to all these Ravages. Bear in mind we have 1 Blight on the island. There'll be Insatiable Hunger of the Sworn. We could just finish ourselves off. Oops, that was a misclick. Luckily there is an undo button. Just get Paralyzing Fright now. Yeah, alright. So that's not gonna work. Okay, so now I think our only chance is YOLOing for scapegoats that then YOLOs into something else. For example, if we got... Oh, but not... Things we're only at Terra 2. We just don't have much YOLO possibility here. Sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. Once more, I've let you down. Just trying to think. So I did go for wasps to save me a bit of energy. I don't know. That was possibly a mistake. And I think probably going for... As usual, chat was right. Sky Stretches to YOLO could have been good. I'm not sure I ever used Sky Stretches with Sweep into the Sea. That could be a pretty nice combo. Pretty nice. No, I don't think it is enough. There's just too many cities around. Yeah, we wouldn't actually get Threshold either. I mean, it just wouldn't be enough, unfortunately. Yeah, we can't YOLO it. Okay, so the options that keep us alive are... I mean, Bloodrack Plague could prevent the build loss, but it won't prevent the Ravage loss. Farmers Seek to Harm for Aid could prevent the Ravage, but then they'll supplement the Ravage for a build, and we'll lose that way instead. So I think Nightmares to push from here is the only real option. And of these cards, what's actually useful? I mean, Sweep and Sea can do quite a lot of... Can clear up quite a lot. And we can kind of combo with Nightmares. But I think this is almost irrelevant. I'm always thinking just forget Sweep to the Sea. Okay, so we'll get rid of Wasps. So I think Nightmares... Oh, and if we play these, then we get this level of RNA. And so this would be 6 Fast Fear. That would be another 2. 8 Fast Fear. 9 Fast Fear. It's 2 Fear cards. We're just not even close. I think the Fear card is Defend 6 on Terra 2. Yeah, I mean, we could get help from the event as well. The event could defend us here too. I mean, We are not likely to win this. Could draw an explorer out of here to reduce this number. We terrify nightmares from here. And we push those. Probably, I mean, if we push to here, then they build a city, but that's just one of our problems. This here is either a jungle or a mountain, so let's not push into this jungle. Okay, and then this, I mean, we may as well do this here. No reason not to. But if these were Terra level 3, I'd be less pessimistic. Because the thing is that the Terra level 3 ones can... I mean, some of them, they vary a lot in strength, but they can do a hell of a lot. Let's see what we get. Okay, center crumbles, does it? Add a blight to an inland land. So we have to... You have to lose a load of presence. Otherwise we just lose. I mean, okay, looks like drive off the interlopers solves this bottom land here, at least. So, 3 presents. What, mate? Let's keep our YOLO sacred site up here. And we'll get rid of this sacred site down here. And this is our only targeting into here. Let's remove this. Oh, that's our only presence with Dahan. Though we are about to lose it. We're about to lose the game. And we haven't been given anything by this event. So let's just carry on. So we can drive off the interlopers to push Explorer Town from a land with Dahan. So we'll push these into here. And what do we get? Each player may gather an explorer into land with buildings or gather a town into land with cities. So that's not gonna... We can gather a town away from somewhere, so I guess the project is gathering away from here. But we can't gather... There isn't... We're not going to get something that skips this Ravage. Oh, there is a fear card that skips the Ravage that we've not seen. And this is adjacent to 5 Dahan, so I think we could possibly make this skip the Ravage. This is a 9 damage Ravage right now. So the card that offers defend, I think Chris is right, it's 6. At Terra 2. So it's not enough. We do have 2 cards though. Yeah, I guess if we're relying on the 6 from this, then this is covered anyway. But we can't gather the town anywhere except in here. Let's not gather it in here. Let's just gather and explore it out. So we will gather and explore into here. Each player chooses a different land. In chosen lands, gather up to 2 Dahan, then 1 damage if Dahan are present. So this is another one. Look at this. So you'd get 1 damage per Dahan, which would be pretty significant in here. 1 damage. I don't think we've got this. This is like the last hope, isn't it? And each player moves an explorer town from an inland land. Okay. Okay, game, you've made your point. You win. Alas, hope is dead in these lands. Because we now lose to the Ravage. But these Dahan will get to counterattack. So, take that. One last 3 fear at the end. 4 attempts, 4 losses. So, just 2 more. One of them guaranteed to be a win by the law of averages. But I think my odds, I think I am running out of spoons. So I don't think I'm going to be winning today. But don't tell anyone, so that when people watch the YouTube video, they'll be really disappointed. You know, you can't just be uploading improbable wins all the time. You've got to upload a load of losses. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining me today. While I valiantly lose. Right, let's find someone to raid. I'll be back with more Spiral next Friday. And on YouTube. Got all sorts on YouTube. So, let's see what's going on in the board game space. Oh, there's me. Okay, there's some stuff in the board game space. Definitely stuff happening. Let's look in the what I like to call the friend space. People, streamers that I watch myself. Hey, Cerebel. Hey, you're welcome. Stamina persistence, dude. Thanks. I have done pretty epic Spirit Island streams. My energy levels vary a hell of a lot, though. All 4 games with shadows, although no, all 4 consecutive losses against England 6. I thought my chances of winning 1 in the stream weren't horrible. But it turns out I was wrong. So, let's see who's around. Let's raid. No, it looks like no one's doing something directly relevant. So, let's raid. Ooh, what's this? Let's raid Pagrax. Pagrax is streaming some demos from the next fest, which I know is dear to the heart of some Hovelites. Pagrax is awesome. He plays everything on the hardest difficulty. Wild. He's much better at games than I am. But yeah, more Spirit Island next Friday, New Shape Thursday, and possible extra streams. If you care about such things, join the Discord. I'm toying with the idea of doing some kind of fundraising-y stream for Ukraine Red Cross or something. I don't know. Depends. I've got some work to do as well, so we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, feel free to drop your max grain emotes if you have them. If you don't have them, that's also fine. I should think of a witty raid message, but I'm not going to. All right. Bye for now.